Welcome to Rope Breaker Wrestling Podcast. I am elderly and pissed, and we are hot off the presses of AEW Double or Nothing. But before I get there with you guys, I just want to say that did anybody see that Brock Lesnar return coming? We are late talking about that, but yes, did anybody see it coming? Brock Lesnar. Obviously, we all thought he was retired after WrestleMania, but that did not happen. He put his boots in the ring, gave the hug, kissed the fans goodbye, left the ring, shaking hands, kissing babies, doing the honorable, "It was enough, guys. I'm done," after the defeat to Obafemi. Then all of a sudden, bam, there you go. Brock Lesnar comes out during the open, the challenge by Obafemi and F5, F5, F5. I think we all should have saw it coming. I think we just all got caught up in the moment, myself included. It was something special. But Brock's not done yet. Brock's still kicking butt, taking aim, and he's going to probably go over this coming Sunday at Clash in Italy. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, that's where I see things happening about that. But we're not here to talk about the Clash. We're here to talk about an amazing night. AEW Double or Nothing. Man, I'm not gonna. It's a great night for professional wrestling. I think if you have taken any time away from watching AEW, you should have watched Double or Nothing. And if you haven't watched AEW in a couple of months, please watch Double or Nothing. And if you're tired of watching what WWE main roster, not talking about NXT or AAA, but WWE main roster is giving you on a weekly basis, please go out of your way to watch AEW Double or Nothing. AEW Double or Nothing. Was it a perfect show? I'm going to say no. But was it one of the best shows, if not the best show of 2026? I'm going to say yes. The match for me that was the standout match was the Takeshita versus Okada match. I've said this many times. When Okada wants to be the man that he was in New Japan, he does. But it's only a select few of people that he's willing to work that hard for. And I knew Takeshita would be one of those guys that he was willing to work that hard for, and he did. Not only did he work that hard for Takeshita went over, and Takeshita won. Not only so, and it was a good match, great match, 5-star match. And I'm not going through any order here, but I just wanted to talk about a couple of matches that really stood out to me, and that was the one. The proto star Kyle Fletcher came out at the end of the match and cemented him still being a heel by realigning with the Don Callis family. But we got Takeshita as a babyface now, and he is the champ. So shout out to Takeshita. He's the man. I can't wait to see Takeshita, Okada, Takeshita, Fletcher. Let's just see how it goes. Also a standout match to me was Swerve versus Bandino, the first round of the Owen Hart Classic. That was crazy. Swerve doing the house call from standing on Bandino's shoulders was insane spot. And then it was just a crazy match. The Hurricane Rana on the reverse poison Rana. The poison Rana. I can't speak because it was crazy. But the poison Rana to the floor, from the apron to the floor by Bandino to Swerve was crazy. Just insane action all night with everyone. All the matches watched. And I'm going to say I was never a match. I'm not a fan of the match. I'm not a fan of the Stampede at all. But my boy Yeah, Leo Rush. He knows, man. He knows, and he came and he was there. So I was definitely happy to see Leo Rush um, be in the mix, do his thing, show up, show out, and even though he had a small spot, Jericho's crew won, but for me, the spot of the night when it pertains to that match was definitely the Leo Rush spot. Um, yeah. Then another match that really showed to talk about is the championship versus hair match, MJF versus Darby Allin. Um, I think we all kind of knew that MJF was going to win. I didn't want him to win. I was enjoying Darby's just insane run. But Darby's crazy run was just, I think, in hindsight, it was so Darby could lose. You know, with the middle rope tombstone power driver, that is his super finisher, folks, for MJF, and he finished Darby. But that was the story was that was due to Darby's fatigue. So because he had a hectic pace as champion, and he had all types of matches, the tax and the champas and just Brody King. It didn't matter if you wanted to wrestle Darby, you could, unless you were Max, obviously. And he gave it to everyone. And then when it was time for him to lose, he lost in a grand fashion, scaffolding, everything. He was jumping, he was doing Darby things. So nothing wrong with that. Great match. Um, we have Edge, Christian, Cope and Christian doing their thing. What's going on, Peter Wesley? I'm not dead yet, so I'm just talking about AEW Double or Nothing, brother.
Um, I guess he didn't work on the Adobe thing.
I sent him the link. He did not click it, so that's the reason I'm just back on Riverside. But I did send him the link. You were in the chat. You saw it.
Yeah, I've forgotten my password to my MacBook, and
That's too much money to be getting the password to, boss.
yeah. So I I tried to when going through my Facebook thing. I try to go on my MacBook and access Facebook that way, or try to do a recovery that way. Then it said I forgot my password, so I was like, "What?" And I don't believe that, but I went ahead and changed it. And then I went through everything and it still didn't work. Now I do not remember what I changed that password to.
Oh, wow. I thought you would have all your passwords pertaining to your Apple products the same.
Well, I do, but when I changed it that day last week, I don't know.
Mm. You don't know what you changed it to. Okay. I get it. I get it. I get it.
Crazy thing
I've
is
been
the
there.
hint that I gave myself is the original password. And obviously it's not, because I've been trying. What kind of hint is that? And I know I
Sometimes
typed it.
that's crazy. That's what they do. That's what they do. But I was just talking about Double or Nothing, man. You saw. I know you didn't watch it, but you saw the clips. What did you think of it?
I saw clips. I seen people loving it, man. I From the clips I seen, they look dope. Um, and from all the reactions, I feel like I missed out. So I don't know. I guess I need to start
I'm
watching
gonna. I
AEW
said. I'm
pay
gonna
per
say
view.
this, and this is what I said earlier. And I said this earlier. I said if you're unhappy with the match quality that WWE is giving you on a weekly basis, please, and you haven't watched AEW pay per view in a while, this was the one to start watching it because it was a great pay per view. The Swerve Vandito match, which I wasn't even looking forward to, surprised me which the match quality that they both put on. The match I was looking forward to definitely went over like Rover, which was Takeshita versus Okada. I thought that match was match of the night. I know that might not be everybody's match of the night, but that was match of the night for me.
Oh, was it?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I think we've talked about it when there's times when we both know Okada does not try, but that was a time where he tried. You know, there's certain people where he tries, and we see Okada of old. This was Okada of old. He showed up last night.
Okay.
Showed up last night. Not to shit on the MJF match or in Darby, because obviously they were going to do everything. I love the pre-show interaction with Mick Foley, Darby, and MJF. I thought that was good. It should have been on the main show or the go home show, but it was still good because not everybody watches the pre-show. The buy-in is usually long for AEW, just as almost as long as the pay-per-views. The
So
only
I do got
thing
a
for
question.
me, yeah.
That what do you think of that idea of like having your main event guys in pre-show segments? I think it's a dope. Like I don't have anything negative for it, but I was like I'm wondering if that's something WWE should do in the future, even though that would be stealing. But everything is stolen.
I mean, is it stealing? I mean, we used to have pre-shows leading up to pay-per-views like No Mercy in the WWF Attitude Era, where we would see The
Yeah,
Rock having a conversation with Vince McMahon,
on Sunday Night Heat.
Austin. Yeah,
Yeah, you're
So to me, so it's the same thing. It's just they don't do it anymore. The pre-show is just nothing but hype. It's like build. The pre-show is like, if you remember the preview channel. The pre-show is like the preview channel stuff we would get leading up to a show now, but it's like 2 hours of that shit, right? So to me, I mean, could they do it? Yes. Would they benefit from it? Probably. But they don't have matches on the pre-show anymore in the WWE. AEW still has matches. Big Boom AJ is the star of the pre-show every pre-show of the
Yeah, we talked
buy-in.
about it in the chat. I was like, why are why are the Costco guys still getting booked? And listen, I don't want them to see them lose out. I just like it's not a crossover thing. These are now AEW guys.
Yeah, I mean they have contracts, so I guess
Oh, do
they
they? I
legitimately
didn't
have
know that.
contracts.
I did not
Yes,
know that.
Big Boom AJ, the Rizzler, all the rest, all the kids, Big Justice, I guess is his name. They all have contracts.
Well,
So
news to me.
you may as well book them. Yeah,
Okay.
Big Boom AJ's dream was to be a professional wrestler. So that's his thing.
Yeah, I
So
know. I know.
Costco during the week.
This is all his grand scheme of things. I do get that, but but he's dragging the kids in.
Well,
And
the money's not with him.
The
The money's
Rizzler
with
isn't his
the
kid.
Rizzler. I
The
know
the
that's
Riz-
his friend's kid.
and it's not even. I mean, it is his kid's friend, but not like we met, we
Mm.
hang out. It was kind of like that dude's cool. We should book him to do skits with us. And then by now 100 skits later, I mean, yeah, they're cool, but um,
Yeah,
it, it's just weird.
I mean it is weird, but let's be honest. Professional wrestling is a corny game, is a corny place, so corny acts are allowed in the game.
Sure, I just thought like he's got what he wanted. He wanted to wrestle. Now you're wrestling. You still got to bring your kids in it.
Well, maybe Big Justice wants to wrestle now. He got a taste of it.
My
Obviously, not the
um,
wrestler.
no, he's just being tagged along, man. That poor kid. His dad is pimping him out to Big Justice, and that came off horrible. Uh, not in the
Yeah,
way,
I was gonna
not
let
in
you
the
roll with
way
it.
that word is usually used. I don't mean it like that. In case
Why not?
somebody. Not in the normal context of the word. I just mean he is shipping them off to content creators. That's what I mean. I
I
seen a
mean, he's not
video
the
like
only
it.
one that has done that. So
No, he's not.
that's just the normal thing, I think. But the pre, I don't want. I watched the pre-show. I watched the buy-in, and I just kind of they're just kind of gloss over matches for me. But when I saw Foley, which I knew he was already going to be there, but when I saw Foley, I thought, okay, this is a good thing. And he took a nut shot. I was like, oh, okay.
Foley on AEW TV.
He doesn't work for WWE.
He's got a contract. I mean, granted, legends,
He
whatever.
has
I just
and so does Jake. And Jake had a Legends contract up until recently.
I just feel like Foley's contract is probably just a little bit more deeper than Jake's or Sting's.
I
No,
don't know. I wouldn't. I don't think so. I think Mick made a decision, and I think it probably his active part was up. And Mick's been doing a lot of indie stuff anyway, even with his WWE contract that he had. He would show up at OVW and JCW and all these other random places you wouldn't necessarily picture Mick to be at.
yeah, but I mean, all the guys do that. But with the rival company and you've Mick Foley,
I mean, he's made enough. I don't like this company because you associate with Donald Trump and your
yeah, but
political
Mick
stance.
Foley, especially even especially for a hardcore guy, Mick Foley is a real sensitive guy, and
Yes.
so these like random like I'm in my feelings type moments from him aren't new, but he always comes back around.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure he'll be back there in the next 2-3 years when uh, there's someone new in the White House. He'll be there. He'll be talking about Bang Bang, have a nice day in the WWE, continuing his legacy because they own it.
Yeah,
Majority of his, including his TNA stuff, probably pretty soon. I would expect. So with him, I don't know. I can't really say that he's a lifer for AEW, but I think he's a person
he's
that
not. He's there for a few segments and
years.
things with MJF. I'm sure he wants to cross paths with Darby Allin. In his head, he probably thinks he can do a death match with him. Hopefully, his daughter, his wife, and his doctor would let him know that he can't. But because that's always another
His
thing with Mick
son too.
Foley.
We need the whole family.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't
does
think
his
he's.
son still work at WWE or no?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. He probably doesn't. He probably does.
But
But with
every
Mick, I don't see
year,
him doing a match.
no, but every year he talks publicly and says, "Oh man, man, if that guy, if I could just do one match, it'd be with him." It's a new guy every year too, by the way. I would if I could just do one, and then he's like, and I talked to him. And, we talked about it, and it's just like you gotta stop, man.
I feel with him, this is what I wanted, and people are probably going to say this is stupid. But if they were really building Mick, and they might do this in a rematch because they have time before, Wembley, when we do have MJF versus Osprey. That's what I'm predicting anyway. MJF versus Osprey. Could be wrong, but I'm predicting MJF versus Osprey at Wembley. Osprey goes over. But if they do have another match between Darby and MJF, and the words were said that Mick, that Darby is nothing but a bona fide stunt man. The words were also said about Mick Foley. I would love to have a match with Mick in Darby's corner and Ric Flair in MJF's corner,
Oh yeah,
since they both work there.
or at least he gives them the pep talk like Terry Funk did Dean Ambrose.
Yeah. Something along those lines to get those four in a good storyline, because of the words that were said about the parallel between Darby and Mick, being reckless in the ring anyway.
Reckless, but only reckless to themselves.
Yeah. I'm not saying they're hurting anybody else other than their own bodies.
They never hurt anybody else.
Yeah, no, because when they flame themselves, the spot is for you to move and them to die.
Yeah.
So yeah, Darby and Mick were no difference. Even though I'm gonna give MJF props for letting Darby jump on him off of a scalpel.
That was crazy.
Yeah, then Darby busted his own head. But hey, that's Darby. That's Darby. But I do have a question. So I know you saw that Kevin Knight turned heel. I thought it was turning heel on the wrong guy. What were your thoughts?
I didn't. So I'm trying to use my words wisely. I thought it was like overkill, kind of in a way. And it didn't. I don't know. It did. I don't want to say it didn't do anything, but it was like he did it. Everybody was shocked. MJF was like, "What the hell?" And then, but he didn't have the like, "I'm evil." He had the, "I didn't want to do this, but I feel like I had to" type feeling going on. So it's like,
I could
you
see.
know, where my thing is, so if you do feel that way, why did you need to take your anger out on the guy that lost? Like, what is? I don't get that. If you were that mad and felt like you need to do something, why wouldn't you attack the guy you got beef with?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I feel like he's gonna explain. Maybe to me, it was like, okay, I feel like he's a better heel than he was a babyface. But there's a
Oh, you
lot of
think
guys
so?
that feel that way.
Okay.
But because he started to being a little cocky, like he was being arrogant, but I don't think he was getting over like let's say a Trick Williams, who his arrogance was like, oh, okay, we're enjoying this. It just became, well, the Jet's gonna win the title, and it's like, okay, who's the Jet? Like, we've seen that you're athletic, we see that you did coast to coast, we've seen that you defeated Darby, but okay, that's it. You're hanging out with Mike Bailey, okay, Karate Kid. But I feel like for him, it should have made sense for him to turn on Speedball. You know, just like, oh, you're holding me back. I don't want to tag with you. Something like that. I feel like it
That
was
makes
abrupt.
sense.
Yeah. Him turning on Darby, what is he mad because Darby lost and now he feels like he's not going to get another title shot because MJF won't give it to him?
But see, that don't make no sense. Why are you mad at him? And that don't count you out of a title shot. You can be disappointed.
Yeah. You can. You gave the man a pep talk
Well,
after
you know
he.
what? You know what? I gotta take it back. Because the Knicks is one game away from going to the final.
Okay.
If they lost this game, and then 3 more. I won't fight them. So I don't know, but but like but in his way, I don't think he's rooting that hard for Darby be champ. Like,
I mean, maybe he just thinks that Darby is an easier challenge to defeat than MJF. He beat
don't
them
matter.
both,
He's already beat. He
both of
don't
them.
have the title. You got to go
That's
out.
true. That's true. That's true. To me, just the heel turn didn't make sense. If it wasn't
I felt
even a
like it
slow
was
build,
a
jumping the
wild
shark.
way to. I felt like it was a wild way to end the show, which AEW has a habit of trying to do that. Like when they had Darby, when he ran out and got hit by a car.
Yeah,
Like so, but I
yeah,
mean, and I don't care to do that. Those are the moments you love as a wrestling fan, especially when you paid for a pay per view. You like, man, this shit need to end crazy, but make it make sense. Have your
that's
crazy
true.
ending to make.
Not only make it make sense, you know, it's not even crazy compared to all the things they've done. It was like,
Nah,
why have a downer end on, and then it's like putting shit in a cup and then shitting on it again because the heel won, Darby lost,
yeah,
MJF
yeah,
won.
that was
He
yeah.
kept it,
I think for an ending like
and then
that, somebody should have just helped him win, and then but like he already lost, and then you attack him like what? And he was on a stretcher. Like what? Like
yeah,
you don't need
he
to get
was.
hurt no more. He's already out.
You could have cut a heel promo, but let's be honest, the Jets promos aren't that good.
But that sounds like
It
a
didn't.
Darby idea. I want somebody to jump on me while I'm on a stretcher. Like
I mean,
that sounds.
I knew something messed up was going to happen when he got put on the stretcher and they tied him down. I said, "Oh, he's gonna get hit by somebody." And then when it was Kevin Knight,
So when he came out, did you immediately think he was doing that?
I was like, this N word is going to do something stupid," and then he did, and I was like, okay, okay, he did. But that's the jumping the shark. Everything else in the show, except I didn't like the Stadium Stampede. I just don't like the match
Really?
itself.
So I did want to hear you talk about it because they, I heard, I seen a lot of videos where people was wanting to talk about that more than anything. Your buddy was in there. I want to say your buddy. I love Leo too. Um, I just not this phase of him, but but
I
he
love
was
this
in there.
face.
I know. It's growing on me, but I'll be the first one to say he could be AEW champion with this, and I'll be the first one to say, hey, I didn't love this thing. I didn't. I won't
That
change up.
he
But
and you shouldn't if and in the entire chat, I think probably me and Afro are the only people that are behind this, and I think Afro's just behind anything that's AEW related at
yes, he
all.
is.
So it's just like he did shout out to Afro
He
if you
is.
see this. I do we want you on here because I just want to have this conversation with you, brother. But I'm gonna say this. So I was the only part I did like about that was Leo and the beginning, the opening, of how they did the little cool montage with the baby faces.
So just
Um,
well, I'm gonna ask you a question about that. I was gonna say, how cool was it to see Chris Jericho and MVP on cool terms with each other?
I was happy. It got a smile out of me. It popped me because I was like, okay. But I feel like, and a lot of people gonna be mad if they make it this far into the video, brother. But all I gotta say is when I see uh bona fide mid carders being angry at each other, it doesn't matter. Like y'all better squash it because it don't matter.
Are you calling Jericho a mid Carter?
He's not Chris Jericho of 99 2000.
But even in AEW, he's the first ever champion.
John Cena was a mid-carder his last 2 years of being John Cena.
But it's funny you use that word because when MVP and him had that confrontation, I think it was like at a hotel lobby or something, and people asked Jericho what was going on, and he says he doesn't acknowledge mid carders or something like that.
Yeah. And him saying that, I'm like, well, yeah, I don't think you're too much more than him now. I and this isn't to even shit on Jericho's legacy. Jericho's legacy is amazing. Chris Jericho is the only man still wrestling that wrestled in ECW, WWE, and AEW, and WCW.
WCW.
I mean, because I don't think Rey Mysterio is coming out of gonna wrestle now that he's a GM of AAA.
He's gonna have that match with his son though.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't see him. I see him having a mega championship match eventually with Dom, mass versus championship, but not right now. So to me, he's still pretty much a retired wrestler.
And you said he never wrestled in AAA.
Who? Ray did. He was never mega champion.
Okay, because
because they had weight limits at the time, so he was not eligible because he was little. You know, he was.
I thought he was mainly at
CMLL.
Yeah.
Ray did everything. Ray's Ray. You know, Ray wrestled everywhere. Like Penta. You know, like Penta wrestled in AAA, CMLL. So did Ray Phoenix. They were just trying to wrestle everywhere. But you know, those are the people that's goal was to leave Mexico.
Right.
Not necessarily to be pigeonholed by you wrestling Mexico. I think people that wrestle in CMLL, I think they don't mind if they're just pigeonholed to be wrestling CMLL.
Is the money good over?
I heard the money's better than AAA's.
Yeah, it seems the way I be hearing AAA is struggling over there.
Yeah, but that's the reason.
But I always thought AAA was a step above CMLL.
I think if we think about all the AAA legends, Art Barr, Psychosis, Juventud Guerrera, those are the names that we think of, but we also have to think that was like 95. You know, La Parka, Damien, you know, Jericho himself, you know.
Conan came back or had it on his podcast or on TV, anything?
He's on the podcast, but you know, he has the screen off when they do the videos. His screen is off, so you know, I think he's really keeping whatever going on. I'm pretty sure he did. It's the longer that he's not seen, the more I'm like, you lost your leg.
At first, they were saying both legs.
It could be. He could just be a talking head by now.
The crazy thing is, I'm telling you, man, if something crazy like that happened to me, I'm not doing anything work related.
I mean, but
on a podcast.
if you, I mean, that's still money. I don't. As we watch the fallout of the other podcast, Intrusive Thoughts, I think it could be like that with him and Disco. Disco could be like, you ain't get no money if you ain't on the show.
He's a piece of shit. Because at times like come on, man, just cut him some bread.
You know, but that's probably not like that because they always give shout outs to Conan when he's not on he's not on every show because physical elements like that.
Is he still when he is on there? Is he still arguing with Disco?
Yeah, they still have their disagreements. They still have their disagreements about what goes over, what should be. But I think that's when everyone in the chat, we all have disagreements. On the podcast, we don't all see wrestlers the same.
I try to cut in and stop a disagreement from getting to it.
I saw. But Shaw wanted that one. He wanted that.
I don't know why though. I don't.
No, because I feel like if he wants it, he should do it on her. Because I'll do it on her. I'm not doing it for nothing no more. And he wasn't even the seed of the original conversation. I was like, well, why are you doing this? That's because I was like, why do you want this? Because nobody else chimed in. Because everybody else was like, oh, we know where it's going. Nobody said
Yeah,
anything
and
else.
then he comes in pushing it, and then he even dropped in the names. I was like, oh, I know where you're going. This, I want to stop this before it gets there. I was just.
As soon as I saw it, I said, Peter's throwing that life preserver in because because I was like, I guess you want this today. I was like, I wasn't feeling it anyway, but I guess you want to
So
piss
like,
me off and have this conversation.
I guess like, and I guess, and that's a lot of in society. Like a lot of people love watching a train wreck, and I do sometimes too, but not with my friends. Like I don't want that. I don't want to see that. And shit, he just wanted it. He didn't care.
No, I like it, but I was like, if you want it, we're gonna have to do this on the podcast because then we can just have to. I don't have to text nothing. I ain't gonna even think. I'm just gonna go on one of them Hogan promos where something racist and insulting might come out, but I don't give a damn, brother. It's just guys gonna be one of them Scott Steiner promos where it makes zero sense, but you understand what the fuck I'm saying. You understand?
And
But no. So
wrestling needs more. To be honest with you.
that's why we have Braun Breaker. When they let him loose, when he's not around, eventually, when he's not around Paul and he just says random shit, he's going to sound just like his own.
Because that's what wrestling is. Like WWE has convinced themselves that like they are doing Broadway when doing promos and stuff and trying to drag feelings and stuff. But wrestling, good old Southern wrestling, is a guy just saying, I want to kick your ass. Like it really is. I mean, yeah, some funny
Yep.
stuff.
That's all it
It's
is.
in there. But trying to like cut this Oscar speech every night, it does not need it. It isn't. There's a time and a place, and there is times when that stuff can be great, but trying to pull that emotion out every week, no. I just want to hear how you gonna beat this
Not at
dude up.
all. And the sad thing, the crazy thing is, I was thinking about that before I pressed the card because I put on this Roman Reigns head of the table T-shirt, and I was like, and someone asked me, they was like, "Do you acknowledge Roman Reigns as your tribal chief?" And I said, "Yes and no." The answer of yes, yeah, he's a tribal chief of we're going to call it the cinema era of WWE because he steamrolled that. That wasn't
Yeah.
him. He is the guy that did that. He's the guy that during the pandemic part of professional wrestling, he cut a full promo during the match. And that was fine. There was nobody else there except him and him, the referee, and the cameraman, and Michael Cole, and whoever else, Corey Graves, Ray Barrett, whoever was the commentary team at the time. That was it. So you could do that, but you can't really do that now because there's people watching in the arena, and that does not translate because we've all been to live wrestling shows. We don't know what the fuck they're saying. We don't hear
Yeah.
anything. We hear the mat, we hear the screams, we hear music. That's it. That's all we hear. So it doesn't translate to that. And now I think every time when somebody cuts a promo, they want cinema. But really, all you need is emotion and intent. Nothing else. Nothing else. Some of the most emotional promos were given, well, not really emotional. Promos where you got behind the guy was The Rock making fun of someone that didn't really he was making fun of a guy.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
something. That's a good point because Rock and Austin, going back with when LA Knight was finally like getting over to the point that WWE had to acknowledge it. I remember Bruce Pritchard was like, "Now we got to get him to do a promo to connect with the audience's feelings and explain why he needs this." And I was like, "You don't get
Yeah.
LA Knight. People just like him because they think he's cool. Like,
Ooh, exactly.
you, he don't that no." And that goes. And I thought like, I'm like, well, guys like Sean Cena, they did do stuff like that. But then I thought Austin and Rock ain't never sat there and told you no heart
Yeah.
feeling promo. They just went out there and said, "I'm gonna kick his ass because he's weak."
Kick it. Exactly.
Hey.
It's all about I should be the champion because in kayfabe, if you're the champion, you make the most money.
Yes.
Kayfabe, that's the way it goes. Because we look at wrestling. If we look at wrestling and we and we put the blinders on, it's a sport. Who makes the most money? The champ. In real sports, who makes the most money in boxing? The champ. UFC, the champ. You know, the word champion means it. You win your champion. You win the championship. You were just talking about the Mets. The Mets win the World Series. I'm pretty sure they're all getting some money. You
Oh
know,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
uh, because champions mean money. Championships mean money. We just had the enhanced games last night as well, which is a games of where people could use gear all they wanted. And guess what?
Wait a minute.
If you
That's real.
won, yes.
I seen a post about it, and I was like, "Oh, this is some AI nonsense," and I just skipped
No, no,
past
no.
it.
It's no, no,
I
not at
heard
all.
about it
Half,
a while ago
not at
when it
all.
was coming, when it was, I guess, like being talked about, and I wrote that
Mm-hmm.
off is fake too. But I
No,
didn't think
no,
this was real.
no, no. It's very real, very real.
Oh
I know
god,
you watch Game of Thrones, I assume.
a little bit, not enough.
And well, did you get to the point where the mountain was there?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, he has the deadlift record in the world.
Didn't
Um,
he do
he
some wrestling?
no, he didn't do any wrestling. He did some boxing and some
Okay,
MMA. He
I
did
knew
boxing
he
and
did
MMA,
something. I know he did something. I didn't. For some reason, I thought it
and
was
he's
wrestling.
also no, this is boxing MMA. He's also in the Masters of the Universe movie. Uh,
Okay.
so he's doing his thing. But he was in the enhanced games. He did not set a new record, but he already held the record that he was trying to break anyway, so it doesn't matter. But the
Who
enhanced
runs
games
it?
are real. I forgot who it was. He's one of the ambassadors of the enhanced games, but I forgot who runs it. But you know,
Is he
gear, Roy.
is he Jack though?
He's big. I mean, strong. There's probably only one. He's not fat compared to a lot of the strong men that you see. He's not Morris Pujanowski, who was like the most ripped strong man you'll ever see. Like he had like 8 packs abs and huge. He looked like a bigger version of Triple H 2002.
Mm.
Uh, but most strong men are just fat and really strong. And but they look like they go to the gym, but they're not. They don't have like cuts. You know what I'm saying? They just have
Yeah, I'm just saying
a
you. So
silhouette.
I'm just want to get a hint of this a guy because like you've put this organization together of people that can do whatever enhancement they want, and so I just want to know: are you just say what's the word? Are you a guy that's just exploiting people, or are you in on it too? So I just want to see like are you looking just like him? Are you know?
I mean, I don't think he. I don't like. I think it's just. So I've talked to a lot of people, like recently, that were just talking about, and we usually talk about wrestling, but then they off center into real sports, and a lot of people feel like real sports were better when gear was not outlawed. Because you saw more spectacular stuff. Granted, the athletes didn't live as long, but it's a choice. Especially, I'm big in the bodybuilding space. I love bodybuilding, and bodybuilders usually don't live that long. Look at the average bodybuilder's age is like 40. You know what I'm saying? 45.
Yeah.
They die quick. Because it's not just being big. It's
That or
and
they
it's not just
old
the
and
gear.
they
It's a
seem like their
combination of
body
both.
just broke down and it's embarrassing. Well, not embarrassing, but disappointing to see.
Well, I think we know tendon, and I discussed it with you before. Tendon strength. The person I want to say that is the in wrestling that we can really like look at this at is like AJ Styles. AJ Styles admitted that he only got his injury after he got bigger and he came back and he got injured immediately when he wrestled Mello. Uh, and that
Oh,
was his first
dude.
match back.
I was so excited to see that match. And then Is that when he got the big introduction?
Mm-hmm.
And then he does that, and then it ended with the injury, and then somebody's like, "Well, no, it's an angle. It's gonna be like he's washed, and he's
Getting
gonna
too
be
old to
questioning
go.
himself." And it's just like, I was like, "All right, maybe." And then it's like he wasn't there next week, and he wasn't there the week. I was like, "No, this man's hurt for real."
And it's sad, but yeah, yeah. Eh, I mean, AJ to me is the person. He's the biggest person in wrestling. Period. That is really like, okay, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? And I'm doing this stuff. And he never got injured before, and then he got really big, and he got really injured all the time. And he got his first serious injury. That was AJ Styles.
I think it's a combination of things because one with age, and then yeah, body as well. Like you can't. And he was slowly getting bigger a little bit, at least from his size in TNA when he left and was doing Japan and stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I noticed that was when he wasn't hurt, but he was hurting people. And I felt like it was because you're not wrestling the same people that you was when you were smaller, and you still wrestling the same way in these other
When you get
places.
smaller.
Yeah, and so it was because for a minute it was scary. He's like, man, that Styles class need to be retired. This,
Poor all those people that he drops on their neck, Yoshitatsu and all the,
yes,
accidentally.
he was never the
You
same after.
know, no, not at all.
He did come back
And
though.
that's the reason he did, and killing it in Japan. But that's the reason we have people. Well, not people, but that's the reason that when he first came to the WWE, he didn't use the Styles class at all. We never saw that. We
And then I
saw,
think people got in Vince's head and said it was a dangerous move and all that stuff. Even though he was letting somebody else do the move years, but whatever.
yeah. I mean, but he got it back. That last 2 years, we saw it all the time. And granted, I didn't like people kicking out of the move all the time. It was
Yeah,
usually, 1, 2, kick out, kind of like the Penta driver has become. And now that Penta is using the Canadian Destroyer as his finish.
yeah. He don't care though. He loves it.
Penta's just happy to be there. Him, Stephanie Vicur, and Ray Phoenix, and Blake Monroe, all just want to be WWE superstars. They don't care about anything else. I mean, I'm not mad at that. I
Charlotte
mean,
pulled out Styles Clash at Saturday Night's main event.
yeah, but also didn't make sense. I guess everybody's saying thank you, Uncle Allen.
Well, they had a tag team for a minute
I remember.
on the mixed challenge. I actually watched that. I don't know. It was like a guilty pleasure of mine getting to watch it.
I just enjoyed seeing Asuka, and
Was
The
she with
Miz.
Miz? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the strangest team ever. But that was when and they won the first one
I was like,
because
didn't they
that
win?
was. They won that. They won it. Remember, Oscar was still undefeated when she
Oh
did
yeah,
lose
yeah,
to
yeah.
Charlotte at WrestleMania. So Charlotte, Oscar wasn't just a pushover. The Miz, he was the Miz, but Oscar was still the Empress of Tomorrow. Before that, untimely loss and pretty much getting pooped on, to me anyway. But I digress. Whatever. WWE pooping on the Empress of Tomorrow. But at least they got some good people. She never got to put over Kiana James, unfortunately. The
She never
future of the
was.
WWE.
She never
Should
was.
have. Damn. Somebody needs to put over Kiana James. Charlotte will, because that's
My
our
only
friend.
complaint when it came to Oscar, and I somewhat get it. I've in the I think in the grand scheme of things, I don't because of the way she lost it. But I thought she should have put over Ember Moon in NXT.
I see it.
Instead,
I understand why.
she just gave up the belt. I didn't like that. Um, and I know it was like, oh, she got to protect her streak, and then it's just like
Yeah.
she lost it, and it didn't. I didn't feel like it mattered. It was just like
He
a
lost it to
thing for
somebody
Charlotte.
that didn't need it.
Yeah,
Charlotte
it
didn't
was,
need it.
like when
Charlotte
she
was
won the
already
Rumble,
Charlotte.
I'm like, okay, they about to put on a classic at Mania. And this is a
Mhm.
big moment, and it was just like, nah, we ain't doing it.
The only person that I think at that time that would have benefited from beating Asuka would have been Becky. At that version of Becky, because Becky was the man.
But at that point in time, though, I don't even think they seen her like that.
I don't think she was. She was meant to be what Bailey is now.
Yeah, they never, and that's one thing about WWE. It's always that like you got to get over fans, you got to win the crowd over. And it's like, no, you got to win them over because they didn't push Becky until they was forced to. And that stuff only works sometimes. Like when fans is pushing for somebody, they either go out their way to show you don't really want this. Watch what we about to do to them. Or sometimes they be like, all right, let's go with it. But that's a gamble. It don't always work that way.
That's true. That's true. WWE does that, but WWE is a toxic company. We might not want to agree with that, but I think they are a toxic environment.
Oh no, I'm fully
Um,
ready to agree with that.
I mean, I just think it's a toxic mentality to have. Um, there are some people that they just say, "Hey, you can be whatever you want to be, even if the people hate you." Roman Reigns, you know. And then there are some people is you can't be nothing unless the people love you, Daniel Bryan.
People loved him
You
since he
know.
came in.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, he was Brian Danielson, the indie god, pretty much. I mean, he was an indie god.
Oh yeah.
Ring of Honor, indies, everything. You know, if you bring up Brian Danielson, CM Punk, Samoa Joe, um, Roderick Strong, and Roderick Strong, they were and Nigel McGuinness. That was the
Not
indie darling
Nigel.
generation.
Nigel is my guy, man. Wearing the title backwards. I thought that
Yeah.
was cool as hell. I got to see Ring of Honor live once in Ohio somewhere. And this was when like I remember going I used to be on this message board and this dude was like going heavy promoting Ring of Honor and like all of us WWE fans was like telling me he was lame and he needs to start watching generic wrestling. And and I went, some friends wanted to go. And so I went to go see it and I seen a few clips of Nigel and I was familiar with him, but I will say, man, Brian Danielson comes out, the room changed. My friend that I had with me took his shirt off and had a Brian Danielson shirt under it. I didn't even know he brought this with him. Like it was he also had an Age of the Fall shirt too. But
Okay.
yeah. Tyler Black was in the house that night. But no, man, hey, Brian Danielson, he made a fan out of me that night. I was like, oh, this guy, he's really everything everybody's saying. Because all I knew about him was that time, people saying he's the best wrestler in the world, and Triple H had made that weird
Yeah.
comment saying you can't be the best in the world if you haven't came here. That was all I
Yeah.
really knew about him. But when I seen him, I was like, oh no, this dude might have an argument. He's pretty good.
And I'm gonna say this, and I know if Shaw was here, he would disagree. You don't have to wrestle for the WWE to be the best in the world. You just
You
need to be the
don't.
best in.
And I think that involves in with everything. Like, as I rap and people will say like, oh, well, you gotta have a platinum album and all this to be the best. Like, no, dude, you can just be good. Just be good.
Yeah.
Because it's all
Yep.
subjective.
That's
Think
all it
about
is.
like all this, like look at all like the like famous artists and like that we have to study in school, and they'll tell you they show you got to look at all their work and stuff, and they'll tell you when going through their biography he wasn't popular when he was alive. It
No,
was
he
like
wasn't.
what?
No, they
It
wasn't.
was somebody else, and you don't even talk about that dude. You don't even.
Exactly. I mean, even in music, that's still there. I mean, I
Yeah,
think obviously, if we talk about except Michael Jackson, people have always said he was the best. and Elvis. They got their flowers when they were alive, but people like I don't think Biggie got his flowers until he was dead.
He was on top,
You know,
but it was a
he
short
was
run because he
popular.
died. Yeah, I don't know if he
Yeah,
like in the status he is in now. Like he was one of the most popular at the time. I still think even when he was alive, Pac was more popular than him.
Pac
So
was
his
over
death
him. Yeah,
did, yeah, like his death did put him in a god status that I don't believe he would have had right now.
he wouldn't have been there if he would have lived. Yeah, he wouldn't be
Yeah, yeah,
if he was
I
still
just don't.
alive. He was still alive, rubbing the oil on Puff. You know, he would be a legend, but he wouldn't
Yeah,
be
yeah.
up there when you asked who's the greatest of all time, Biggie or Pac.
Wouldn't it wouldn't be it
The
wouldn't be
question
like
wouldn't be there.
maybe
Yeah, it
if
would
he
just
was
be
from New York, maybe, but I don't. Yeah, no, I don't think it'd be the way that he's
that
still
is now.
spoken of
Yeah,
today. Yeah, no,
yeah, yeah.
he might be like in
And
a
you know,
weird Snoop Dogg like territory where people still see Snoop as a
yeah, yeah.
legend, but they don't care for anything he does today.
No,
No
he's just
disrespect. Yeah.
you just a legend. You have great catalog. The only person I think he's associated with that people might put in GOAT status might be Dr. Dre and being a producer.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, he might be in GOAT. Our Eminem, you know, greatest Caucasian, our greatest rapper. Some people still feel he's the greatest rapper alive. But you know, that's subjective, I think.
He's my
Truly,
favorite,
because
but I I can. Well, I can't say this on video. I still want to meet Eminem one day. No, no. I do think he's my favorite. I don't know if I can say he is the greatest right now. I still
is
think
it
he
Kendrick
does things
Lamar?
as, in my opinion, yes.
Okay, is Kendrick better than Lil Wayne?
In my opinion, yes.
Or Nipsey Hussle better than Kendrick? If he was alive, rest in peace.
Uh, I think that's debatable. For me, I'd still go with Kendrick. I like Nipsey and I like his overall message and I like him. Like his views and such in real life, but like his actual style of rap, um, I man, I feel like it's one of them clips somebody's gonna pull out and be like, he was disrespecting Nipsey Hussle. No, I thought he was dope. I just didn't think like, oh man, he's the greatest. Like, but no, he was
Okay,
dope.
okay. They can clip this. The greatest rapper, in my opinion, alive is MC Hammer. Now,
I wanna hear why.
okay, so I'm gonna tell you why Stanley is the man. Okay, first of all, Stanley's a gangster. Stanley would rob both of us and still and not even take nothing just to say he could, because he's that
I've heard
type
about
of
him.
guy.
I've heard about him.
And then he would give us a sermon at the same time because he's done everything. He's but no, I look at him. And when you look at the people that were on top when he came in, you had LL Cool J, which it wasn't LL Cool J with no with with the leg up and muscles. It was I may go to the gym a couple times a week, but I still live with my mom. LL Cool J. We had Kid and Play. They were at the top around about that time. We still had like Dougie Fresh and all these. That's who was there. But none of those people had the energy that and crossover appeal. And by crossover appeal, I mean he was the man that kids wanted to listen to MC Hammer because it isn't, and adults wanted to listen to MC Hammer. How many people have had a Mattel doll with with your two singles on it? The two singles came in the box with the two dolls. MC Hammer had that. Nobody can say it. Ain't got no Jay-Z doll. Talk with Big Pimpin' on one side. None of that. That's not. No, they don't. Uh, so to me, I feel like he was just he did everything. He danced, he sung, he paid respect to like the old school ways because he paid respect to like James Brown and all these people that work the hustle of Motown. He took the hustle of Motown, the mindset of a gangster in the hood from Compton, and he put them together to create this MC Hammer character where he danced and rapped and he did everything. I think it was just, could he have went gangster? Yes, because I'm pretty sure he lived it probably more than anybody else. Either more than the Easy E's, which I love Easy Easy's like number 2 for me, but more than Easy, more than Dre, more than Ice Cube, more than anybody else you could probably think of. He probably lived that real gangster life, other than like Suge Knights. But Suge wouldn't mess with Hammer. That's how bad Hammer was. We all know this. But I feel like Hammer delivered what he had so well, and he would have still been on top because he still could have produced records. He still could have did. He wouldn't have had. He couldn't have changed the image. The image was so much. It's like when Vanilla Ice tried to change and be a hip hop rock guy. No, you're still Vanilla Ice does, because when you become so iconic, you get pigeonholed. You can only do one thing. You know, it's kind of like Jaleel White trying to not be Steve Urkel. You can't. You know. But I think if people would have gave MC Hammer a chance, he still, like, his catalog wouldn't just be known for Too Legit to Quit, Pumps in the Bump, and You Can't Touch This. That's just my opinion. But I'm not a musician. I'm not you. I'm not Shaw. I'm not anyone else in the chat.
I do
I'm
got
just a guy that likes music.
there is that I don't know if you heard, but there is a run he had with Death Row.
Yes, I heard it.
That's very interesting.
But no, I heard it when him and Suge, you know, got together.
yeah.
I heard it, but I felt like it was good. Like it worked with the times of what was going on in music. But I knew that when people saw MC Hammer, all you think about is this commercial success. This man had a doll. He had a Saturday morning cartoon, which I watched every Saturday with my doll. You know, as a kid. So I know
with your dog.
Doll, the MC Hammer
doll. Oh, they said with a dog. I was like, you made the dog sit and watch this?
No. I mean, my dog was there. Shout out to Butterball, but I don't think he was watching the TV. You just
like you like pulled him to the side. It was like, no, dude, we're watching MC Hammer this morning.
No. I watched it with my mom, and she was like, "Why is this going on? What is this? Why is his shoes magic? What's going on? Like, what is this? Is this a fever dream?" Like, you know, she didn't understand. But no, you know, who is the old man supposed to be? It's supposed to be a parody on James Brown. Oh, okay. Well, what the hell does James Brown have to do with MC Hammer? But then I had to show her the video of where James Brown and MC Hammer had the interaction. Totally different deal.
Okay.
But I mean, but that's why I put him up there, because I think if he, like, a stereotypes can kill anybody. Every time you see the girl that played Topanga, you're gonna always know her as the girl that played Topanga. She's nobody else.
That's true. She made that work for her. She's in her 40s.
I mean, she accepted it.
Yeah, she's cool with that.
But if you're a serious musician like you, so if one of your old ones, when you were, how long have you been doing hip hop? What age did you come out with your first single?
I think seriously since probably 2014.
So 12 years ago. So I'm pretty sure in 12 years you have matured as an artist.
Oh yeah.
But if your first single went viral on TikTok, and that's what everybody wanted, brother, it would be hard for you to get out of that. And you would probably be frustrated as an artist that you couldn't mature with time.
I'm lucky none of my stuff from high school went viral, because I would never want to be looked at as that stuff.
That guy.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that's what happened to Hammer. Just like I think that's what happened to Hulk Hogan.
In a sense, I do see some of the same issues with both of them. I think with Hammer, he was a great showman. He was a great entertainer. He was a dancer. And I think he jumped on rap because it was a hot thing at the time. But I don't think I don't think he was an actual like MC, like, you know, like when it came to writing and rapping. Like, he was a guy that entertained, and rap was a thing. So I'm gonna do what I do and mix it with that. So when things was changing, unfortunately, there was no way for him to keep up with the times. Because one, that era of being flashy and dancing and stuff, um, really, that whole dancing era, like Kid and Play and stuff, was phasing out. And he had got so big that when he was with, I mean, he knew it was time to switch up. He did switch up. He got with Tupac and Death Row, but people was like, we don't want this from MC Hammer. You supposed to be for the kids. You out here dancing in
Yeah,
a
but yeah,
thong. Which, by the way, that song, I still go to it. I like that. Pumps it up. Like
bumps in the bum. I like the girls with
I,
the bumps in the back.
I
How were
like
you?
it.
Why you through? What were you like 2?
It was so. It's one of those songs that I've gone back and it's grown on me as an adult. It's like, oh, this is kind of hard. But as a kid, I don't think I thought too much of it because like he was at that time Hammer Time, like so I didn't,
Yeah.
I've heard it, I didn't think much of it, but like it's one of those things I've gone back to, and it's like, no, this was actually pretty hard.
Yes, it wasn't that bad. I can get
Yeah.
with it. But I mean, you got. I feel like right after him, we had like Sir Mix-a-Lot, which was like
Was that right
Baby
after
Got
or
Back.
around? Okay,
And
I know it was
around about the same time,
yeah, about the same
and
time.
put him on the glass. So I mean, I feel like it was fine. It didn't. Seeing Sir Mix-a-Lot's face talking about him getting women made no sense. So I could get with Hammer getting a woman. Sir Mix-a-Lot talking about Baby Got Back, yeah, girl, and put him on the glass. No.
So I think the songs with him, like the song was hot. I don't think he was ever like transformed to like some sex symbol or something. And I don't think
Of course
Hammer
not.
necessarily was either. He just, he was he looked good or whatnot. But I think with his hits, he crossed over into a mainstream audience that seen him as safe to listen to. So when he was ready to try to be sexy and stuff, they was like, wait a minute, wait up. This ain't what we signed up for. This is
I mean, I agree because I saw one thing that was talking about Hammer was like one of the greatest one-hit wonders, and I was like, no, he had like a bunch of hits. He had like Pray. You got to pray just to make it today. That's why we pray.
Was that a hit?
Like, yes. Too legit to quit. Too legit was a
I'll give you too legit to quit. I think so. That people often mention him as a one hit wonder, but yes, he had too legit to quit. Um, I get why people say that, but no, technically, no, he's not one hit wonder.
no, yeah, because I mean, if you want to say a one-hit wonder, that is Vanilla Ice. Even though I love the whole album, that album, I bumped that album from 92 to I would say 98. I bumped that.
It's a good like 6 years.
Hey, I haven't bought. I'm going to legitimately tell you this. I have not bought an album that was not wrestling related since Prodigy Fat of the Land in 98.
Oh wow.
So, yeah. So that's legitimately true. That was the last album I purchased, and it will be the last album I purchase because music does not. I still listen to old music. I still listen. My favorite song is Bittersweet Symphony. I still listen to that song at least once or twice a week. It's made by the Verb, Bittersweet Symphony. Have you ever seen the movie? Shit, I forgot the name of the movie. It's a movie. It's on the tip of my tongue, but anyway, I'm pretty sure you've seen it. The movie it stars Sarah Michelle Gellar and her ex-husband. Sarah Michelle Gellar was on a.
Ex-husband.
Yes, ex-husband.
Her and Freddie's divorce.
No. Reese. No, not her. It was not her. Reese Witherspoon and her ex-husband.
Okay.
Not her and Freddie. My bad. It was Reese Witherspoon was also in the movie. Yes, Cruel Intentions. That's the name of the movie.
Oh, got you.
The song they play at the end after Simon dies, gets hit by the car. That's my favorite song.
Okay.
But that's not the reason, because I heard the song before I saw the movie. Before the movie was out, I heard the song, and I was like, "Oh, this song's cool." So it's been my favorite song since I was like, I didn't know Shaheed, and I've known Shaheed for over 20 years, so it's been my favorite song for that long. I was still in middle school, so that's
I'll be
how long it's been
heartbroken
my favorite
that
song.
Sarah Michelle Gellar and Freddie Prinze Jr. broke up. I was gonna have to call in to work.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. I was a major Sarah Michelle Gellar fan until she played until she played Tila in Masters of the Universe Netflix series, and then I said I can't mess with you no more because you ruined a character that was okay.
Dude, I really like that show.
Stop.
He's really good. I have no context of He-Man, so
and that's the only reason I'm just like, you can't. I like you, Peter Wesley,
but the story they told, it was pretty good.
And I don't think
I don't think they did anything wrong to any characters. I mean, I guess the hint you wanted more He-Man, and it should be his show. But he comes back. He comes back.
No, because I'm pretty sure that he only came back because people got mad. You have to think that was a whole year and a half before the new one came out. People were mad. I was.
You got to see him. You got to see him with the past champions and stuff. Like, I think this is something you would have wanted.
No, it's not. No, He-Man don't die. He-Man doesn't die. He's He-Man. He doesn't die.
What about all those other past He-Man? Like, what?
That's not real.
Oh, so none of those existed.
Only one of them. That was the black one. He existed. So okay. So Lure of He-Man. There's like this many versions of He-Man. The legitimate versions of He-Man. There's the original source material, which is in mini comics, which you only got from buying the toys. There's the third. Okay, there's way more than 5. There's the DC source material where He-Man went in a cave and said, by the power of Grayskull, and he transformed. In the original, he didn't transform. He was just He-Man. He was Barbarian Barbie.
I don't like the transform. I don't like transformed characters. I don't like them. I don't like.
So you don't like Shazam?
I don't.
Okay.
I just
Now see. Now I understand why you might not like He-Man and you might not be going to see the movie, because the transformation was gifted to him by the people that made Shazam. Because, like I said, originally he didn't have a transformation. He was just a dude that was a barbarian, and he was gifted magical armor.
I like that.
That was it.
That's it.
Yeah,
but I watched the trailer, and I didn't know about the transformation. Well, no, I did. He did it on the show. He did do it on the show.
Yeah, I was going to say, he died as Adam. He-Man doesn't die.
But see, in the Netflix show, it was more like it was just a secret identity. So I didn't think it was like he had to. I just thought it was just like his secret identity's He-Man. I was like, all right, I get it. I've all my favorite superheroes got secret identities. So it's cool. But I didn't know like he was pulling a Billy Shazam thing on me. I don't like that.
No, that's just
and it's stupid because once I find out that you got the split personality, I'm turning you to a kid and I'm gonna beat you up like that. It's it.
But nobody knew that Adam was He-Man. Billy was a totally different thing. Who would have thought that Billy was the superpowered guy that could rival Superman? Who would think that cowardly Prince Adam is the most powerful man in the universe?
And to tie this back in with wrestling, that may be one of the things I'm mad at The Rock about the most. That this man's ego said Black Adam's so good.
You don't even need to be bigger than Shazam.
Dude, you could have got a spinoff. Cool. Just do the movie. What is wrong with you?
Look, we need to smell what The Rock is cooking.
And I picked up on this. Dwayne is an old school guy. Like he likes like I see the things he like franchises he chooses and like things he talks about. he likes like action stuff from generations before me, and that's cool. I
Yeah.
respect, but when you come into DC Universe, can you at least respect the thing? Like, just know, all right, this is his arch nemesis. I need to do this. First of all, you chose that. You could have just been Shazam if you wanted to be the star. You could have just been him.
No, but then there is the pushback of that. You're colored,
But
Dwayne.
see, Rock he has spent his whole career being this racially ambiguous guy. Him and his arch nemesis Vin Diesel. I think that's why they don't like each other, because they got the same scheme going on.
Hey, he stole Vin's character. Vin was already that in the movie space, while Dwayne was still putting rock bottoms on Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Funny thing is,
Yeah.
Vin Diesel did a short film, I think like in the 90s, about this subject. It was a short film that he wrote and direct. It was about him being an actor and trying to get roles. And one of the, like, not the major plot, but one of the plots in the thing was like, what race are you? And he would
Where
be
do you fit
auditioning,
in the grand scheme?
and he was auditioning for different roles, just trying to get in that pocket of just, let me do this, let me do that. But you know, but I get you on that. Is the whole thing? Could The Rock be, playing it? But Rock's played white characters before. He didn't
There's a
even
difference
embrace
between the
being Samoan as an adult until recent years. Like, I mean, he embraced it in the wrestling side, but like in mainstream Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't. I feel like it
in
wasn't
the
until.
wrestling side. It was near the end. In the
Yeah,
wrestling side,
you're
it was
right.
near
You're
the
right.
Rikishi. It was, you just knew that Rocky Johnson was his dad, and Peter
True. I take
Maivia
that
was his
back. True.
granddad.
Yeah. That
That's all
stuff
they
wasn't
talked
brought
about.
up until the end. Yeah. That is true. Because I remember like Rikishi kind of low key was trying to like him, like, we family. That's why I did it for you. He was like, you big loser. Like, he didn't even take that
Yeah,
serious. It was,
yeah. He's like, I did it for The Rock. I did it for you didn't do nothing for me. I don't know you. I ain't never met you.
yeah, and I was
I,
confused because I've heard
yeah.
people say they was related, and like, and he didn't do nothing to confirm that for me.
No. The Rock did not, for lack of a better term, he did not acknowledge his family. The only
No,
person he acknowledged he was related to was Rocky, and that was when he was Rocky Maivia after he
and he
became The
only did
Rock.
that because
I,
Rocky had a WWE career.
mm-hmm. And that was the only reason, because he was there. And Vince was like, yeah, you're a blue chipper. You're a third generation wrestler. Your granddaddy's dead, but your daddy's here. Let's go.
But by the time he was over, you didn't even hear his name brought up again.
No, the only Rocky we knew was Rocky, and he sucked. Because
Right,
that's the only
that was
time you
it.
heard all
That
they
was
chanted
that was
Rocky.
it. He didn't bring
I
his
mean,
dad when he
I
won the
see it.
WWE Championship. He didn't none of that.
Any of those times that he won the WWE
No, no,
Championship.
yeah.
The only time we hear about Rocky now is because he regrets that him and Rocky wasn't on speaking terms when Rocky died.
They what?
And, they weren't. They
Because I
weren't on.
know, like a year or two before he died, he came and gave him the card.
Mm-hmm.
And I know he did interviews that they had some falling outs, but the way Rocky Johnson it seemed like that was probably a ongoing thing between them. That, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
It seemed
obviously. Well, I think, but the question is, what are we going to hint at? What happened? Was it because The Rock does not acknowledge his 20 or 30 siblings that are out there?
and this is just a guess on my part. Um, Rocky probably said something smart, like, probably asked for some money or something, and Dwayne might have gave him I'll see what I can do, and then you big Hollywood man, you can't give your old man. So yeah, that's what I feel like. I feel like it's one of those. I just like,
I mean, but I mean, okay, I can say this, but I'm going to say that the relationship is completely different. I would never let my kids be homeless while I was out doing something
right.
else with somebody else on the other side of the thing. But The Rock claims that he doesn't have hard feelings for his father for that. If that's the case, why not give him a couple $100 here? You know what I'm saying? Now, if he's asking for give me $2 million, no,
Rock
I'm not doing
says
that.
so. I think Rock's one of those guys. He don't like. And I'm not saying he's weak or nothing, but I don't think he likes the idea of publicly feuding with people, even if it's people he don't like. Just like how
I agree.
he cut that speech at the Hall of Fame with Shawn Michaels, and like he's like, "Oh, I never got a match with you," and it's like, "Cause you didn't want it." And then like when he had the thing with Vin Diesel, and he's like, "Oh, I don't, we're not gonna address that." Like he, even if he don't like him, he don't seem like he wants to say anything negative about him. And I don't know if that's the politician in him. I don't know what it is, but he doesn't do it. I will say that. He won't, even if he don't like you, he won't say nothing negative about you. And he's The Rock. He could easily say "fuck that dude," and everybody just join in with him. Like
Oh
he
yeah,
could do that.
without question, without question. But I mean, I'm not mad at him for that because he wants to do other things. Like I think he realizes like he wasn't really cool with Paul Levesque going up.
And he could
When they were
easily
growing up in the
publicly
WWF,
bury him. He could easily done that. And
he can fire him right now. He can get him fired right now. But there's no reason to because he made some of his biggest paydays in wrestling with Paul Levesque.
Yeah.
Yeah, near and dear
Which
to
is
my
funny.
heart, Judgment Day. Rock
Dude,
versus
I'm still
Triple H.
every time we bring this up, I still get pissed that I didn't get to go.
I mean, you would have first of all, you would have had to be up early in the morning like I was. I was there at 4:00 in the morning, standing outside Freedom Hall, brother.
Oh man.
And still got nosebleed seats because it was almost sold out.
Yeah.
For $50.
No, I was too young at that point to do that, but just a few years later, I was on my stand in line outside Freedom Hall missions for those
Yeah.
tickets. And I didn't
Yes,
complain,
sir.
dude. And they're cold,
No.
man, just cold. Just I was.
Oh no.
That's how I met Brock Lesnar. There was SmackDown tickets was there, and then after you got the tickets, Brock Lesnar was like inside somewhere signing autographs.
There
He was
you
a cool
go.
guy too.
Do you still have the autograph of Brock Lesnar?
I think
All
it's
these
at my
years later.
mom's house somewhere. I got him to sign
Okay,
two
cool.
things. I wasn't supposed to do that. Because I brought my SmackDown game. I wanted him to sign it. And so when you got there, they had
Oh.
those WWE picture like things that they was handing
Mm-hmm.
out. And I was like, and I'm a shy kid, so I was afraid to be like, "Can you sign this?" But then somehow I got it. I was like, you know what? I'm going back in there in line, and I'm getting him to sign this. And so I went, and I was like, "Hey, can you sign this?" And they was like, "Oh, we got these." I was like, "No, I already got that." And they looked, and Brock looked. He was confused. He was like, "How he already do that?" And it was like, "Because I just went in line twice." But I don't know why they did. Because he looked confused. Like, how did he get it, dude? I was already here. Like, no. And then they was like, "We ain't supposed to do this, but I'll let you do it." But Brock didn't care. He was cool with it. It was the security people that had a problem. It was.
That's usually how it is. That's cool. So do you still have this? I assume the Here Comes
they
the
somewhere in my
Pain.
mom's house. Yeah, I had the Brock thing hanging on my wall, and I don't know if it's still up or if she took it down or what, but the game is somewhere in the house. I know that for sure.
Well, that is cool. That's something. If you ever get tired and you get low on funds, there you go. There you go. I'm not even joking. That's the disc with a signed Brock Lesnar. Yeah, that's worth some money.
It'll be on eBay when he goes in the Hall of Fame.
There you go. You got something that's the daughter's college fund right there, brother. You can say Brock Lesnar paid for your college fund. And there you go. And you have to say Brock Lesnar like you're Paul Heyman. Brock Lesnar paid for her college fund.
How do you feel about him coming back and ruining that retirement moment?
Before you got on, I did talk about that, but this is what I'm going to say. It is We should have known. First of all, Brock signed a contract for years, and I think they probably put that on hold when they couldn't use it. Like they couldn't use him
Oh,
during the Janelle Grant
yeah.
thing. I'm not paying you that. I'm not letting you go because we know Tony will give you $20 million. And I'm not even exaggerating. Tony Khan will give that man $20 million and people will watch. And you don't want to take that risk. So you just give him some money and you have it
Only
locked
want
in.
that if they gave him the proper Bobby Lashley feud.
They're going to give him the Warlow feud. Speaking of Warlow, I am going to say that I thought Warlow was going to come back and help MJF win the title. But back on Brock. So I felt like it was when I was a little bit shocked, but then I was like, it's Brock. And he's not letting a darkie get 100% win over him. He'll let him beat him again. I honestly think it'll be a SummerSlam. It'll be a rubber match. And that's when Brock is done because it's in Minnesota, him and Tiffy's home place. And Brock can go home after he loses. He can go back to Canada and losing his
he has to go fly
state
because he actually lives in Canada.
Yeah. Well, he probably got a place down in Michigan somewhere. Him and Sable can Sable can play with his giblets. You know what I'm saying? And that's fine. So but no, I wasn't really shocked. But what about you? How did you feel?
I was cool how everything ended in Mania. I didn't need that.
I can see that.
But and I don't think so. When you do it once, you tease it once, people, they're gonna say how they feel. The second time's not gonna hit the same.
Not at all.
So, but if they can pull out 2 more matches, cool. But it was just like, why couldn't we got the Gunther match? Why couldn't we done that?
I think he feels comfortable with the big black dude beating him, and he doesn't feel comfortable with the thin Austrian man beating him. Or the fat one, whichever Gunther showed up.
I'm about to say, he used to be a big guy.
But he's fat. He's fat, as Scott Steiner would say.
There was a small man tossing him around in a rumble, and he didn't want none of that.
No, that ain't gonna happen.
He told Cody to eliminate him.
Just throw me over the top rope. We ain't gonna do this right now.
Because I really felt like Dragunov was trying to audition to get his Brock Lesnar match. He's like, I'm gonna show him a couple things.
I'm gonna slap the shit out this man. He's gonna know that I'm ready.
I think 2000s Brock Lesnar would have been game for that, but today's Brock Lesnar, he ain't. He's not trying to do that.
Hey kid, it was a good shot, but no. Cody, throw me over the top rope. I'm not dealing with him anymore. He's following me around the ring trying to get something going. We're not doing this.
All he came for. That's all he came for was, I'm about to show Brock Lesnar what I can do.
I'm the Mad Dragon for real. You want to see? Come on, let's go. No, man. Go home, dude. That was hilarious, their interaction. But I think that's the reason they was like, okay, Dragunov, we'll let you have some crazy shit on SmackDown. And he did. They were like, you wanted to have some amazing matches with Mello. He's the same size. I already know Mello. We're friends. Sit your crazy ass down.
I wish we would have got that at Mania, man. Like, I felt like it was leading up to getting this big blow off at Mania between them. And they were just like, let's just take the title off and give it a Trick. And Trick and Sammy didn't need that. They didn't need the belt.
No. I'm going to say this. And this is, I'm going to say this. Everybody from Europe has been shitted on. They've been shitted on except Gunther.
But even he was in the beginning, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
If Vince was
Pete
still there,
Dunne.
he would have been.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But I feel like Triple H should be turning this stuff around. Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate.
So I thought he was, because those was his guys in NXT. And I don't know. I don't understand that.
Shaw was livid when I told him. He was like, "Who's your second favorite guy?" I was like, "My two guys in WWE are Roman Reigns." She's like, "Oh, okay," and Pete Dunne. He's like, "What? Pete Dunne?" I was like, "And Pete Dunne." I will always say, "And Pete
Now,
Dunne."
was Pete Dunne still in NXT at this point, or was he already Butch?
He was Pete Dunne, NXT UK
Oh, he
champion.
didn't.
He became my second. He
He didn't
became
like
my
that Pete
favorite
Dunne.
WWE guy. No, he didn't say he didn't like that Pete Dunne. He just says he always sees him as Butch, and he will never not see him outside of being Butch. And I
I
was
don't
like,
even
to
acknowledge
me, that
Butch.
I was like, Butch was a blip in his
Yeah,
career. If you go
I don't
back to
acknowledge
that,
it.
no, he didn't even wrestle as Butch.
And the crazy thing about
You
that
know,
is, it took a long time for me to start liking Sheamus again.
I was
'Cause
like, I want him Butch.
Yeah, well, no, before that, it was I loved ECW Sheamus, and I think just somewhere around after him getting the WWE title, I wasn't feeling him. It wasn't about the match; it was just the character. I wasn't. I don't know. I think that PG era, that version of him, I wasn't feeling it. And then and the weird hair changes that he was doing and stuff, which I know wasn't his idea because I would see how he wears hair in real life, and it was like he looks cool like this.
Yeah,
Why has he got all these braided beards and all?
random
Yeah,
braids and shit.
it had been Vince ideas, but it took me a minute to start liking him again. And then when Pete came growling and stuff, and he said, "My buddy Butch," I started not liking him all over again. I was like, "What?"
It was like, how can Sheamus become Sheamus, but now Pete Dunne can't be Pete Dunne anymore?
Right? It was just like, "What are we doing?"
It did. It pissed on him. But I even I like the Brawling Brutes, except that part. Because I didn't dislike unlike most people, I don't hate Rich Holland. Um
I feel kind of bad for him now. I'm not gonna lie, I was mad that Big E, and it wasn't that I didn't like him. But I was thinking like, man, is dude reckless? Because he hurt a couple people after the Big E thing. So I'm like, what's
yeah,
going on with this? But I never like was, wanting to go online and send him death threats and nothing like that. And I didn't celebrate him losing his job either. I didn't, that all that
I didn't
stuff's
either.
unfortunate, man. Um,
I shared his GoFundMe. I didn't donate, but I shared his GoFundMe.
that's just as important. That somebody else can see it. They got some money.
Yeah. I can't help Rich. I have kids.
Didn't he take it down or
But
something?
yeah, because they paid him. They gave him the money. They gave him the money. He was fine. But I didn't. I mean, I don't. I feel like Ridge was a good wrestler. I mean, hopefully he'll wrestle somewhere in AEW. And I don't, and I'm not like one of those people. I want them to pick up everyone because there's not room for everyone. I don't need to see a top talent in WWE or even a mid card talent in WWE losing to Chris Jericho in his mid card mania going on, or losing
There's too
to
many.
Lee.
There's too many wrestlers, and I blame WWE. Um, because all right, wrestling is it like it's its own subculture. It has its people that's traveling around different companies and whatnot. But then WWE comes in and is signing random kids from college on a regular
Yeah,
basis, signing them and then
yeah.
cutting a good 30 to 40 people every year that's now looking for work. And so now we got way too many wrestlers wandering around.
I agree. I agree. But those kids like Jasmine Nix, she quit before she got called up, and Laney Reed took that spot in Fatal Influence. But Jasmine Nix said she could make more money playing volleyball than she was
I do
wrestling
think
in
we're gonna get a
NXT.
lot of that.
So
Since they because not only they putting people in NXT, they doing the NIL program, and you grabbing too many people that's already athletes in other avenues, and while they looking like, oh, this could be my backup plan, which WWE, a $1 billion company, why would you want to sign a bunch of kids who think like, oh, this could be if my plan A don't work, I can sign to you guys. Why would you want that? But I digress. I think a lot of them, not a lot, but a good number of them are gonna be like, nah, I'm good. I can go back to what I was doing.
the only person in that is in the NIL program that I'm for 100% is Steiner. You know, Scott Steiner's son, and I'm like, okay,
Yes, I think about it. I get it. I get it. He's a Steiner. He knows business. He's got a cousin that's hot right now. But I don't like. Here's my he is in NFL.
yeah.
This is his dream. He ain't thinking about this at all. Now, granted, it's in the
But
back of
that's
his
okay.
mind. Like, I just like I would think like, yeah, leave the door open. Like if he, and I'm not trying to speak into existence. If he gets cut, I'm only saying it because it's a possibility. Because he wasn't drafted. He was like he was put on after the draft and all that stuff. Like so
Yeah,
he's on thin ice. Not saying I wanted to happen, but I'm
yeah,
just being realistic. But I'm just saying like the talks with WWE shouldn't happen until after that's over with. Like it shouldn't be. We
I
already got a
agree.
spot reserved for you, buddy. We already know he got a spot reserved. Like like we good. We get that. But to
He's
have it
related. He's a
already
Steiner. Yeah,
officially, yeah, to have it already officially just sitting there, like
I look at it in two ways. So if we look at wrestling's past and we look at people that play football and we think of wrestlers, it makes sense to have them be like, hey, this is always something you can do. Like Jim Neidhart, professional football player.
oh, I didn't know that.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Duggan was a professional football player. Lex Luger, professional football player. Roman Reigns, Goldberg, all of them played pro. And if we think about that, well, damn, that's a good track record for people playing football. You know, uh, they can go, they can do it now. With the exception of Roman Reigns, nobody else had like a shoe in the business. Because his father is a Hall of Famer. His cousin is The Rock, right? Um, and Umaga and all those other people, Rosie. But everybody else, they just was like, they were big dudes and they could move. They got injured and hey, you can go be a wrestler. You can use all that stuff and we'll protect you. So I understand why you would want a football player to be a wrestler. Now, but a track and field star, that doesn't make sense. And because the only track and field star I can think of is Bianca. And that's a woman. And still, that's a woman. That's not a dude. I don't want to see a track and field dude as a wrestler. They all shaped like Javon Evans. We only need one. And I'm a Javon Evans fan. No one thinks, oh, he hates Javon. No, I like Javon. I'm just saying
that's what all running
Mhm.
does to you. Right?
Stop it. I'm just saying he's not the guy that I don't want all my wrestlers to look like him, and not to take that I feel like a wrestler should look like every wrestler should look like Brian Cage. I don't think that either. We need variety in professional wrestling, but I think there's a medium in between, and Darby Allin and Devon Evans on that end where hey, you only need a few guys, you don't need every guy.
Right, I got you.
To look like that. You know what I'm saying? You need some, yeah. You need some. I also believe there need to be a cruiserweight division definitively in the WWE again.
I'm gonna disagree.
Why is that?
And my reason is only because I feel like it pigeonholes people. That's my only reason. Like everything else, like it'd be exciting, it'd be cool to watch. I like I like the beginning of the cruiserweight division in WWE, the 205. I love obviously WCW cruiserweight division. I love some of the SmackDown brand cruiserweight stuff, like with Brian Kendrick and stuff like
Jamie
that. Yeah,
Noble.
Jamie Noble. Um, but I just feel like it pigeonholes people. Like now you stuck in here, 205, what's his name? He's crazy. Um, but man, he should have had a better shot at things. What's his name? He used to be TNA champion. He was in Ring of Honor. Uh,
I'm trying to
but
remember.
he was
Trying to
oh
think.
god, the dude that no sold John Morrison at Bound for Glory.
Austin Aries. I love Austin
Yeah,
Aries.
yeah. But like in WWE, once he got in that 205 live, he was stuck there. That was it.
And he didn't want to be
Now,
there. And
granted,
the only,
his attitude sucked too, but yeah.
yeah. I mean, but Austin Aries, I think he had everything. He had the look. He was physically there. He didn't have to be in 205 live. Unlike some people, like
One
that was.
year he had a match on the pre-show at Mania, and I
Mm-hmm.
honestly feel like that was the best match of the night.
Oh, it was him versus Pac, Adrian Neville at the time. Yeah, they
Yes.
killed it.
Oh
They
man.
killed it. But we know if we look at Pac, and that's an AEW thing. We look at Pac. Pac is one of the best wrestlers they got on the roster. If in fact I was thinking, when until the Death Riders has this strange turn where they're in the middle somewhere, but I thought they were going to kick Moxley out and make Pac the leader because Pac's the guy.
Yeah,
I
it
think
did
Pac is
seem
one of
like
the
it
best
was
wrestlers
going.
on
It
the
seemed like they was
roster.
about to give him the boot because he was the way he was going. And I'm sure it was probably talk about it, and it might still be on the table. Who knows? But
Yeah. Well, now they got Osprey as an honorary Death Rider wearing his all black gear now. Yeah. Maybe Osprey kicks him out and Osprey turns it.
good. I mean, that's how Rock did with Nation. He was an oddball member, and then all of a sudden he just kind of took over. Not as
Yeah,
odd as Will
yeah.
Ospreay, but
I don't know.
odd enough.
Osprey's already a star. He could be the face of the company anytime they just want him to be the face of the company.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how his interviews with his accent will go over for American crowds, but if you're a wrestling fan, you don't care.
Yeah.
But I also feel AEW is. How do you feel about AEW and their network? If they do lose their television deal, they have a place where they could put it.
I seen that. You sent that to me. I do think it's cool, and I do think in this era, if they do lose a TV deal, I do think they could survive doing pay per views. They got a name, they got a cult following, even if it's small. Um, well, small compared to WWE, it's not small. Um, I think it's enough that they could still live. They would probably have to do more pay per views more often than they usually do, maybe like once a month or so. But I think they could still make money. Like I think they could still turn a profit if that happened. Now, hopefully that don't happen. They still stick with TNN. I mean
Warner Brothers.
TBS and yeah, yeah. Hopefully that. But we already know what's
Yeah.
going on. We know that we got the MAGA owners coming. This is scary, man. This is scary.
Man, I agree with you. They do have the MAG on us, and it's going to be
But just
something. But I
because they
think,
have that don't mean they might get rid of them. They might just keep them, and it might just be an ongoing back and forth. You can't say this, you can't do that, but just continue to deal with them. It could be one of those situations.
but I also think that Tony's very liberal. I think him as a human being, and I think he wants to keep that liberal audience that he has because a lot of his audience, I think they watch it just because they like wrestling, but they truly don't like what the WWE stands for when it comes to political views. Linda McMahon technically being truly what she is. And you see the COO, the face, the WWE, which is Triple H, hanging out with with Kennedy and Trump, and all these things. I think if he loses that, where it's just like, well, I'm censored too, guys. I think a lot of people are gonna be like, well, if you're censored, we're not gonna watch you either. We're gonna watch Juggalo Championship Wrestling for free on YouTube. Violent J, Shaggy Two Dope.
Did they ever appear on there?
Violent J does.
Okay.
He got
I think
attacked by
Shaggy got
Fatu.
like health problems or something.
They both do. Violent J just doesn't care. Violent J is willing to get choke slammed by somebody. He doesn't care. He loves the business. He loves the business. He loves the business. There ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm happy they love the business. They
somehow weaseled their way into WWE and WCW.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is this. So, but WWE just wanted to get with whoever was making music. They made music and they loved wrestling. So they was like, as long as we can be out there and take a few bumps, okay, I don't care. Don't die. And the same thing with WCW. They made music for them. They made music for that strange thing with Raven, ICP, and Vampiro. A strange group. Should have never been together. Didn't make any sense. And then they made the greatest show for the oddities, with Luna and Earthquake as Garga, and whoever else was in it. That was horrible, horrible, horrible. Speaking of Luna Vachon, I know so everyone is comparing Tekla to Luna, but I would like to say that Beth Phoenix, when she came out last night, looked like Luna Vachon.
Yeah, send me. You gotta send that to me.
Because I'm like, oh God, you look like Luna. Stop. And I love Luna.
Hasn't she looked like Luna before? I want to say in one of her maybe NXT matches. Okay. I know I went
Luna.
tripping.
She looked like Luna when she wrestled when they were like the whatever couple they were when she was with Edge in WWE when they wrestled when they wrestled Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley. But
okay,
now
I was like, I feel like she did pull out a Luna look before. I was like, I know I'm not tripping.
Because I was like, girl, stop. Don't do it. Because I know a lot of people are comparing Tekla to Luna just because the way Tekla's style is, which I'm like, that makes sense.
I get it.
Beth literally looks like Luna.
Yeah.
At this point in her life. And I'm like, stop.
I know I might be in a minority in this one, but Beth Phoenix was my favorite WWE diva.
I don't think you were the minority. She was the only one that could wrestle. And she came down here. Not the only one that could wrestle, because I'm going to tell you, my favorite one out of the entire group was Melina. And not just because I saw Melina.
You say Mickey.
No. Even though I saw Mickey, I remember in the Davis Arena, the first time I saw Melina, I said, "Oh, John Morrison, you're a lucky man," And not because she did the split, the energy that she gave off when she walked to the ring, that she was the biggest star in M&M. It wasn't the other two. She didn't even wrestle, in OVW, but you knew, who's the biggest star? Oh, the biggest star is Melina. The other two are there. Like, they carry the show. They make sure it's a wrestling show because OVW didn't have the deepest women's division. But, I mean, nobody did at that point in wrestling anyway, unless you were
that was Sunny with, who was she with?
If you're talking about Candido, no, we can't even talk about that. Candido wrestled. She was the star, but she wasn't a wrestler. Tammy Lynn Cinch could barely put on a bra and panties match.
Oh, true. But I'm just saying, in that moment, like, she was over more than any of them. Is what that's just all I was going.
I mean, she was over, definitely. I mean, Sable was more over than Mark Mero.
Unfortunately, yes.
Unfortunately. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you. I think that's another reason why people don't like valets. Because if we remember, Sable was the original valet of Triple H, and she was more over than Hunter Hearst.
I got beef with Melina, man. So
Why? Because she slept with Batista?
no, that I no, not exactly. I'm bothered by it, but I ain't mad at her. I'm just mad that I'm upset that had to happen to Morrison, and I'm upset that he kept sticking around. And I get it. You love somebody, you put up with the nonsense sometimes. Um, no, I'm mad that even through stuff like that, he stuck beside her when people was talking about her about the Batista thing. He stuck beside her and refused a hug from what some people say is the hottest woman in WWE history, Trish Stratus. Refused a hug from him. I know some losers that spend money to get a hug from Trish Stratus, but
Yeah.
he did all that, and in the end, she still wasn't satisfied. And she did the weird thing where she posted his prescription pills on the internet and all that stuff. She kind of claimed she didn't know. She knew what she was doing. I don't know. You know me, man. I love John Morrison. So he's
I
too
know.
nice. So I got beef with her. I'll take that beef. You ain't got to worry about
But
it, Morrison. I got beef with her.
Johnny loves Taya. He's fine.
He does. He found love later. And she ain't never done nothing to embarrass that man. Nothing.
Other than dye her hair SpongeBob yellow.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
she
it.
looked crazy. She sometimes some of her fashion
But that's the
choices might be
character. That's fine.
embarrassing. Yeah,
That's fine. That's the character, and there's nothing wrong with that. Taya's Taya. I don't dislike her for that because she was young. When you're young and when you're a young hot Latina woman, uh, you let you let your love for money and your vaginal secretion take you to places that you might not want to go when you're thinking with a clear head.
right. So yes, but it's certain things like even like I break up with somebody, like all right, but it's just kind of like all right, we've been through too much. I'm not going to personally just air you out like that. I'm not going to go publicly and say this about you or that about you. I think I don't know. I think I just. And maybe it's just me. Like I got a fine line. Like I respect. I may not like you, but I'm not gonna go out and tell the world about your ED.
Everything bad about you. No, I wouldn't either.
Yeah, I'm not.
I wouldn't either. But not everybody has not everybody has respect for the next person. I mean,
But
if
Morrison
people
had
just
so much respect for her. He's sitting
probably
there
still does.
holding her up like a trophy while everybody's sitting there behind his back talking about how Batista was smashing her. You got to deal with that. And it was like, no, it's my girl. Like, that's embarrassing.
Look,
And for that, you should have
look.
been like, you know what? I gotta be loyal to this man. I gotta.
At the end of the day, let's think about this. Johnny's still wrestling. Batista's rich, but rich and like has notoriety within the business that he works at.
Yeah.
Taya is still wrestling, and she's rich on a main show. You'll see her in Dynamite occasionally or Collision. When was the last time you saw Melina? So
That
last time I
Royal
saw
Rumble.
Melina was on TikTok.
Last time I seen her was at Royal Rumble, and last time I heard anything about her is when I think it was like some like lesbian wrestling association or something was
Yeah,
worried thinking that she was missing or something.
yeah, I remember that, and she wasn't because she was found in L.A. a few days later.
They was
The last
worried
time I
about
saw
her.
Melina,
Had everybody
yeah,
worried about her. And then she said nothing
she
was
popped
wrong.
up.
It's like, no. Where have you been at? People been looking for you for a week. Where
You
was you
knew,
at?
you knew, you knew. She said she didn't know because I saw that live stream. But the last time I
Hey,
saw her,
I don't even follow her, and I heard about this. What are you talking about?
I follow
You're
her.
lying.
The last time I saw her was on Two Cold Scorpios TikTok.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah, you sent it to me. Yeah.
Because I follow Two Cold Scorpios because he follows Rope Break, a wrestling podcast.
Oh, does he?
Yes, he does.
I'm just glad that man's is out free.
The case still
Spending his
pending.
freedom doing TikTok dances, but I see what I'm saying. I be talking to my lawyer or something. He's dancing on TikTok. Like, you got some serious charges. That I think
Look,
you
he's
should
trying
be
to get that money
for.
up. He's trying to get that money up.
Yeah.
You know, so he can fight those cases. Granted, Booker T said he'll give him some money too. You know,
A lot of wrestlers should be coming to help this man. He's a legend.
I'm going to say this, and I will go on record. My favorite African American professional wrestlers are Coco Beware and Two Cold Scorpio.
I believe you said that about Tuco, and the Coco part that threw me off. But
Coco is the inventor of my favorite move in wrestling history, the teardrop brain buster.
Okay.
As he calls the Ghostbuster.
There's a hilarious video of Coco beating the crap out of a jobber. I'm pretty sure you've probably seen it before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who was he so mad at?
Dude hit him for real. He's like, "You gonna hit me? You too stiff. You gotta die now. You can't be stiff. You couldn't be stiff in those days."
Was like kind of confusing.
But I mean, I think if you grew up in if you were a territory guy and that was in the territory, but if you were a territory guy, you got beat up. Remember, the one dude, I forget who it was, but he was on WCW. He stiffed Rick Rude. Rick Rude beat the crap out of him in real life, right there on WCW Saturday night. Beat him up. You saw when it stopped being a work and it became a shoot, and dude was flailing trying to get out. Rude just held him and beat him. You know.
I seen a clip of Maven doing something like that to somebody.
Yeah. I mean, hey, and I don't even know what's wrong with Maven. Maven just crazy. Shout out to Maven. I think
they said it was because dude did the 1 foot pin.
Mm-hmm.
And Maven got pissed about that.
Don't you disrespect my...
work getting pissed out. I mean, just kick out at one.
No, I don't. I feel like that's Jericho's whole... That was Jericho's whole stick. The suplex, the pin, the flex. Come on, baby! And then you kick out at one. I mean, I feel like...
I can see Jericho being mad. You stole my thing. But I don't think, like, Maven should have been mad. Like, I don't think nobody's seen him do the 1 foot pin. It was like, Maven's weak, y'all. Like, I don't think nobody... Just kick out at one.
We think Maven's weak without that.
Well, I mean, yeah, but...
he's Maven.
But I didn't think that made him weak.
No, that specifically, no. When we think of Tough Enough, we only think of... Majority of people only think of Miz. And if you don't think of Miz, you might think of Maven, you might think of Nydia, you might think of Ryback, but you might think of John Morrison. But
I think of Maven because I actually watched that season on a weekly basis. And then Morrison's wasn't that like that was one of the ones where he was like doing it on Raw and stuff.
Yeah. When I think of Tough Enough, I think of Miz, Maven, Nydia, and the Boogeyman. That's it.
I remember that clip of Boogeyman, and he was good. They did sorry, man, look like you lied about your age. Who cares? Yeah. He's out here running with them. He's good. He's
the inspiration to Jacob Fatu to this day.
I think I posted that video of Jacob beating Boogeyman. That dude was spanning out.
He's so marked. He's like, oh my God, Boogie. And then he started doing the dance for him. I'm like, you don't have to. He's seen you do it, bro. But he was so happy. But to me, this is why I got love for Jacob Fatu. That moment right there. That means you love wrestling and you're still a fan in your heart. Like there's people you can probably meet. Yeah, and because I mean, I think with some people, there's whoever they meet, they wouldn't care. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You I think but obviously Roman Reigns met everybody because,
Which is
but not
funny
Roman
because
Reigns.
what's his name was at WWE recently. The guy Bray Wyatt kind of ripped his gimmick off a little bit, with permission. But
Yeah. Yeah, Waylon
uh,
Mercy, but
Waylon
Waylon Mercy
Mercy,
was his shit. Yeah,
he came to WWE and like when they put the camera on him, the fan response was kind of weak. Like nobody really.
yeah. They didn't
But
know who he was.
but he did a video. He said backstage, everybody treated him like royalty.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's cool.
I think when it's guys you don't see, like guys you don't see all the time, and you have watched tape and you know who they are. Because I remember Waylon Mercy during us, but I also saw him in Memphis, like as a kid. Like I saw him because he's a territory guy. He's old, and I was like, oh okay. Yeah, that wasn't a shot at him. He's just a territory guy. There's not that many left. I think if you talk about territory guys that are still alive, only three you can probably think of off the top of your head: Arn Anderson, Jerry Lawler, and Ric Flair.
When Jerry Lawler's
You know,
probably some right now doing an AI video of him dancing next to Donald Trump or something stupid.
he's probably dancing to the mayor of Knox County, Glenn Jacobs. Okay.
I think I unfollowed Jerry Lawler just because I was sick of seeing those weird videos.
He's falling down the list with me. He's still on there, but since I've been sharing more of like Nikki Blackheart's run, now that she made it to NXT, I don't see too much Jerry Lawler. Shout out to Nikki Blackheart, aka Nicole Martinez, now in NXT.
She could have been like Nicole Blackheart. Like, why you not the why guy? I don't know. It's whatever. I ain't mad at it, but
Shotzi is Blackheart. Shotzi Blackheart. Nicole. I think she's gonna hire Shotzi back. They're gonna hire Shotzi back.
You think? All right.
But look at this. Before we get off here, I do want to say this. They're Enzo and Cass probably going to get hired back, and Baron Corbin probably going to get hired back. Baron Corbin's pretty much back. He works there again. He's Dan Housen. He's going to be Dan Housen's guy.
He responded to like one of those tweets about the rumor, and he's like, "I wish I would have known. I got these dates booked in Europe." But he could just be throwing fans off.
We've seen all type of people say, "I ain't gonna be there," and then they show up. So
I like Baron Corbin, man. I don't
dislike Baron Corbin. I think he's like
I'm not the biggest fan of his actual work. Like nothing's wrong with it. It don't do nothing for me. But I think the guy's cool. So if they give him the money, I'm cool with it. I don't know.
Corbin's fine. I love the fact that he owns a coffee shop and he works there. I
didn't know that.
Yeah, like I'm like, oh, that's just
cool. Wrestlers and coffee these days, man.
Hey, that's just your guy, because he's a visionary. He's a revolutionary. He's Coffee Rollins and his wife Becky Lynch.
At one point, Mandy Rose and Sonya was supposed to do a donut thing.
Donuts. They did donuts. They were like on they didn't have a shop, but they had like how Ric Flair sells his wings. Like you might be a mini shop, or they do.
I didn't follow it too closely, so I was like, I don't see it. Like I see them talking about it, and I was like, I don't know if they selling donuts or if they just gonna be eating donuts and reviewing them. I don't know what's going on with this. And then it was
Demandy's Donuts. Daria and Mandy's Donuts, but Demandy's. And they came in a little hot pink box. Because I'm a Mandy Rose fan. I don't make a secret about that. I loved what she did in NXT. I'm a Sonya Daria Deville fan, but I don't understand why she's not wrestling, even though she's in TNA.
Not either. I was a Sonya fan, like early Sonya, what was her saying? The put your hair up and square up thing. I thought that was cool. Up and square up. I liked her gear.
Yeah, the black and
I
white.
liked. Yeah, dude, I liked her. I thought she was cute. I know people's gonna probably look down
She's
at
not an
because she's
ugly woman.
no, but she presents herself as the masculine, in a
I'm gonna say
relationship.
this: the same people that her and her girlfriend look exactly. Her and her wife look alike, like they could be sisters. It's very nasty, very kinky, very like I want twins type stuff. It throws me
Every now
off.
and then on the internet, I see lesbian couples like that, and it's like, oh, okay, cool.
Hmm. That's very vain. Like, who do you want to date? I want to date somebody that reminds me of me in the
Before I,
mirror, in the bedroom, every way.
before I lost my Facebook, that's wild. Before I lost my Facebook, there was this couple on there. They looked dead alike, and they whole like thing they put on most of their posts was "We're not sisters," and it's like you have to say it that many times makes me question: Are y'all really sisters, and why are y'all kissing each other? Because I don't know what's going on there. Y'all look too much alike.
I would stop and I would get it. I would break up. I don't care how much I love you. I'm not asking that question. But that is definitely a way to start an OF and say it's incest.
Yeah,
Incest
that's too much
OF.
of that, and I'm getting sick of that weird gimmick because it's creepy, and I don't like it. I used to
They
talk
should
to a girl in
stop.
high school. Somebody asked me, they said she looked like she'd be my sister, and I cut it off after that. It was
You immediately stop. Did you tell her why? Did she at least know?
years later.
Did you guys stop favoring with age?
No, no,
Y'all still look alike now?
and she has locks now.
Oh, so she wanted to become Peter West.
I don't I don't know if it's just great minds think alike. I don't know what to deal with. I don't
Is
know.
she heterosexual or
Yeah,
is she a gay
yeah,
girl?
yeah. No, and she looks feminine and everything, but the
Does
the
her does her
similarities.
does her husband look like your wife?
No,
Because
that'd
then
be
it's just
hilarious.
strange.
But no.
Because
Yeah,
then
yeah,
I'd be like,
no,
okay, y'all
no.
need to stop. Yeah,
I
I
know.
say y'all need to
Yeah.
stop right there. Because now y'all live in parallel universes.
But no,
She
no,
is you.
no.
Her kid looks like yours. It's just like, well, we don't know what's going on here. They ain't related, but there's some strange shit going on there, buddy.
Yeah, that's too
Strange
weird.
shit. I have a question. So we're in the chat and everybody seems to be shitting on the fact that Enzo and Cass might be making their return to the WWE tag team divisions. How do you feel?
At it. And I don't know why people are. Dude, I've been wanting Enzo to get a job with a major wrestling company, even if it's just TNA. No disrespect to TNA, but I just feel like the man's been grinding, and he's one of those people who people thought like after he was fired he was just gonna disappear. But like this man's been doing indie shows, like he's been like nonstop, like he's dedicated. I let him go, man. Let him. So I'm
I
happy
think
for it. And
so.
Cass ain't been doing much.
He was in, he was Big Bill. He was William Morrissey on TNA, Big Bill in AEW, tag team champions with Ricky Saints for a little while.
People always said like, "Oh, he don't need Enzo. He's doing great. Look at the big things is coming for him." And I'm not trying to down him or nothing, but after the way everything's been going, it's been
He
like,
needs
no, he
Enzo.
needs Enzo.
I think he would have been good with Ricky. He just needs somebody to talk. Like I'm not saying he can't talk, but he's not. He's not. No, there's nobody on, and I'm gonna say there's nobody on the main roster that right now that can out talk Enzo. Nobody, not a person that can out talk Enzo. Not even CM Punk can out talk Enzo.
Because he
They can.
he's
They
one of those
can.
guys that like in real life can just talk shit. Like he's one of those
Yeah.
like so it's natural to him. Like like it's just he just seems like one
Exactly.
of those guys that could easily just say some stuff, start a fight. Like he's one of those.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure the real dude Eric has probably got beaten up quite a few times in his
Oh,
life as an
I'm
adult.
yeah.
Even because he as he says he's a shit talker Skywalker, and he is in real life. So so I look at that and I'm like, okay, nobody can out talk this man. we all know in our hearts that the Street Profits need to break up, and I'm tired of the hate on Angelo Dawkins. I know y'all ain't gonna watch this long of this part, but I will make sure I will clip this. Everyone in that chat who hates on Angelo Dawkins is a hater themselves because they will never be as good or as popular as Angelo Dawkins. That's just jealousy. Dawkins is not the best wrestler, but he's not the worst wrestler. The worst wrestler
It's not
says
the worst.
yeet.
He's improved. He's gotten in better shape. His peers love him. That's one of those things where it's like, how can I question his work rate if people like Natalia and TJ is saying good things about him? How can I say something negative? And the man is he's way better than he was. And that's one of those things. Like a lot of times when people make it to the main roster, a lot of times people don't improve because there's so many people we can be like, man, you had to see him in NXT. Man, you had to see him in Ring of Honor. You had, like
Yeah.
he's getting better now. I don't got nothing negative to
In
say
real
about
time.
Dawkins. Yeah, like
In real time. People talk about Dawkins' physique. His physique only pales in comparison because he's looking at somebody like Montez. That's who he's always
Montez.
standing next to. And yeah,
You can put
he's standing there.
you can put Montez next to a lot of people, and Montez look better.
Yeah, look better than him. He was in the ring with Austin Theory and Montez Ford. No, I don't know too many people in professional wrestling, period in life, that have a better physique than Austin Theory and Montez Ford.
Yeah,
They now granted, we only saw Montez off that one time at a house show when he couldn't get his.
he got right back.
And
The fact that he got back that quick,
snap back. Mm-hmm.
I
Well, that just means he stopped eating snacks with his wife. You know, she was pregnant then. He knew. He was eating snacks. Baby, they called you back to work. Well, guess I gotta stop eating snacks. And that was it. He went back to the gym. Angelo looks probably the best he ever looked. I don't ever like he's not fat because he worked out there with no shirt on. He's not fat.
yeah,
He's not
yeah,
gonna look like Gunther.
yeah.
He's not fat. Y'all talk about Gunther looks thin. He has abs and everything, but Gunther looks thin. Gunther.
I preferred Walter over, but I've gotten used to it. But when he got changed, I was like, ugh.
Oh, the name changed. It took me a while. I'm like, I'm just gonna call him Walter. I mean, that is his name.
Oh yeah, the name change too, but the body change was like when he got. I was like, I don't know. I preferred Fat Walter.
I prefer Fat Gunther, Fat Walter.
Yeah,
but they changed everybody. Kaiser, Marcel Burchell. That's his real name. They said, nope, your name's gonna be Ludwig Kaiser. And they did the same thing with Fabian Eichner. That was his real name, and then he became Giovanni Vinci. Fabian Eichner is now in TNA. I hope he kills it, but took him long enough to actually get to a place.
Man. Kaiser went from Nazi villain to Mexican hero. How does this happen?
That man is a story. I'm gonna say this. Shout out to Marcel Burchell, Ludwig Kaiser, the real El Grande Americano, for standing up. Granted, I'm gonna say this. I'm not a fan of PDA. I think it's don't do that. But if you, I just don't like PDA. Granted, I would have probably said the same thing that the guy said without the "don't make me call ICE on that bitch."
Yeah, I don't think it was the first part. I think it was the part he left out. That's what got him punched.
Yeah.
He left that part out.
If he would have known, he would have been like, you can call ICE on both of them.
I'm not bothered by PDA. I mean, sometimes people doing stuff is like, all right, maybe I should move away. But I'm not one of those like, how dare they? Because I'm gonna kiss my girl.
You're a PDAer. You're a PDAer. And that's okay. That's okay. No. So granted, the first time I saw you in person, there was some PDA going on. Not with you. Because I don't think you were there with your wife at the time.
No,
Were you? No, I didn't see your wife. Yeah, I didn't see your
no.
wife because you were
Is
there.
that at that
But that
show?
was PDA. Yeah, it was at the show at that show at Waterloo, and I was like, but
Okay.
there were people doing PDA, and I was tapped on the shoulder and be like, why are you looking at those people so hard? They stopped because I was judging. And I will do that because I don't like I was in the store the other day in Walmart, and these people, they had two little kids. Their kids were running around the cart. They were running into people and crap, and they were like making out. And I was like, well, I know how you got them, and I said that loud enough so they could know. And I wanted him to know, I know how you
There's
got
more on
them.
the way.
And I know, but I want, and they stopped, and I wanted him to know if he could go. It was at the Walmart on Bashford Mountain. I don't like going there anyway. I can be banned. We can go right now because
That
that is,
Walmart.
I hate that Walmart, bro. I hate
It's
it with a passion.
chaotic. I think I'm just used to it.
Why would you want to go there? What's wrong with you? Stop it.
And it's like people
Stop.
of like all because it's right there in like near Newburgh, so it's like a bunch of
Yes.
Africans there, it's like Cubans
I know.
there, it's
I know.
white trash people, it's black people,
Yes.
it's everybody there.
Yeah.
The lines is always packed. It's a mess. It's home.
So I call it the people's Walmart because I do see everything, every nationality, every income. You know, there's people. There's a Cybertruck in there.
Yeah.
There's a Mercedes there, and then there's like a car with one hubcap on and like 3 donuts on there as well. They're all
There's
there.
people in there balling. There's people in there balling, and there's people in there with coins trying to pay they.
There's people in there trying to steal from the other people that they think might have money.
Yeah,
you know,
it's everything.
There's people that put their groceries on a firm. That's her. You know what I'm saying? But no. I
Next
do not
to somebody
like
walking out with like 100-inch screen TV.
TV. They got the TV like this holding them. Got 2 of their friends. Come on, Padre. Put it in the back of the truck. What?
All
Stop
this is
it.
going on at once. It's all happening at the same time. It's
the only time I do go there is to get toys, because those people ain't there for toys. They there for other reasons. They're not there for toys. The kids are there for toys.
Yeah.
They not there for they not there for collectible toys like a He-Man toy or a wrestling toy. Now kids might go to a wrestling toy, but they're not gonna get a Hulk Hogan toy. They don't want that. They don't know who that is. You don't want that little racist man, Pablo. He doesn't like you. He wants you to go home. But I like his colors. You can get it. You can get the Hogan toy. You know, but that's it. But no. But that Walmart, no. That Walmart is a horrible place. I go to the Costco, which is Costco.
Okay.
No, what any. But the Walmart, no, I can't do it. I can't. Like if I'm with someone, they were like, "Hey, you want to go in here?" I'll sit in the car. I can't do it. The parking lot is just as chaotic as the inside, but at least I'm in the car. I'm safe. I'm not going.
That's why I sent you that Skeletor children's book.
Yeah, it was
I
there.
found that at it was
is
there.
That Walmart? Well, it's gonna stay there because I'll never go there. I'll never go there. Not for a book because that's too far into the store. I'm mad that they made the toy department over, not all the way in the back now. I gotta walk all the way back here. God damn! I used to be able to just go to the right.
Yeah, it used to be. Yeah. It used to be. I guess like past where the where the guns and the tools and all that stuff. Once you got past that, but yeah, I did think like so. I was like, this stuff that wasn't always over here, but yeah, now it's like all the way.
Now all Walmarts have to be uniform. That's the reason.
Okay.
And because I asked, so it's like, why are they doing this? And they said, all Walmarts have to be uniform now. Because when they have the people, when they have their auditors come in, they don't have to ask. They just come in.
Oh, they can. Okay.
They don't have to talk to anyone. You don't even know that they're there. And then they tell you after they audit you. And you're like, your stuff messed up. That ain't supposed to be here.
You're wasting time auditing Walmart. Walmart is going to be the best, regardless.
Everyone. Oh, I walked into a Walmart that was being audited, and I found so many like wrestling stuff, toys, and He-Man stuff just like on sale because they were like stuff last season. It's not supposed to be here right now.
Oh wow.
Food, animal food, real food, like like cookies and cakes and stuff like that, like Oreos. Like those Oreos ain't supposed to be here no more. I'll put them on sale for 50 cents because we need to get them out.
That's
Because
funny.
that's a
There was a
problem.
corner store I was at, and they had these Pringles, and it was like Christmas edition, like had Santa on there,
What?
and it was like July, and I'm like, these chips have to be still. Like, there's no like, why do you still have
There's
Christmas
no
Pringles?
way. Did you purchase them? That's the real question. Did you purchase them?
I had no plans to have a stomach virus in July.
Well, you ain't gonna have a stomach. What month was it?
Well, so I mean, it was Christmas, so I'm assuming that they was gonna be bad by January, February tops.
No, not
I
at
don't. How
all.
long do Pringles last?
Probably about a good 7 months.
Okay, I didn't. I'm not a Pringle buyer. Like I get them occasionally, but not as often as I get like some Lay's or something.
I don't even think I'm not even just like Pringles. I think it's just like all like shelf stuff like that because it's so processed. It lasts forever. It ain't gonna kill
Okay,
you.
I see. I thought stuff was maybe a month.
No. That's if you go in if you get a head of lettuce, yes. But if you go and get some sealed bag of a box or can of Pringles or anything that's sealed and manufactured, that stuff is going to be there for a long time. Like it doesn't
Okay.
go bad. It's have everything with the mindset of ramen noodles. Yep, that can sit there for 6 months. That'd be fine. You know what I'm saying? You know, not quite canned good level, but still pretty high on
Right,
like
right, right.
I could put this in my bunker type shit. Okay, you know, it might be the first things you eat in the bunker in the first 6 months, but you still got 6 months to eat it. So yeah, you could have got them. You could have got them. Because the other week I got those Oreo. What Oreos was it? It was those cookie dough Oreos. And
Mm.
they ain't sold them in a while. That was like sometime last year when they came out. They were sitting in the back of a Target for like $2. I said, "Yeah, I'll get these." But the kid, my son was like, I said, "How they taste?" He's like, "How they fine."
See, I at the gas station, I seen the Oreo s'mores,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, I feel like these was on sale, a limited edition thing, like a year and a half ago. I don't know why he's still sitting here.
They're fine. They're fine, man. They are fine. They are not gonna kill you. They are fine. You could eat them.
Because gas stations is they notorious for giving you some stale stuff.
I mean, it depends. Was it a shorties?
This was the one on East Broadway.
Oh, the Shell Station.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, the one that had the with the drug runners. Yeah, I wouldn't go there. You're a brave man.
I so when I was a fan of that place, even when I lived there. But when we do go, it's usually like in the morning, unless we just have to stop and get some gas. But it has
Don't
calmed
get
down a
gas.
little bit
Don't get
what it used
gas.
to be.
Do not get gas there. You know better.
I-
That gas had water.
you-
That is a watered down gas place. Please don't do that.
so it's not many. It was not many places by there though. There was
Exactly.
that was the closest place.
Exactly. In your new vehicle, please don't get gas there. If you want to still have it now, if you don't, if you want to take a risk, if you're a gambling man,
It's
by
not
all
it's not a go
means.
to place. It's not a go
Okay.
to place.
I was getting ready to say you can borrow the Costco card, bro. I don't, I don't dislike you. I don't dislike you, brother.
I do need to get a Costco membership because I seen when gas was going up when it first was going up to 4. I think
Mhm.
I just so happened to be going to that Chick-fil-A, and I looked and Costco's like line was crazy, and for like
Yeah,
just at the gas station, and I was just like, man, I was like they must be doing a hell of a deal right now because I mean this is the gas was just sold out, like it was just like Because right now, when it got at 4, it wasn't a whole lot of people eager to get gas at that moment.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh
You,
no! I mean,
you can easily
Costco
find you a
still has
spot
a.
at Thornton's.
Oh heck yeah! Costco still has a decent now. I think they are at 4. I think they are at 4.
Yeah,
But you know, they're not at the upper 4s. They're at the low 4s.
yeah.
So you know, it's how it is, man. Costco is the place to be. Costco is the place to be. I would like to say I'm surprised that you're not grilling out, man. You got your house. This is your first
I
Memorial
did.
Day in your home.
I did earlier today. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
you did. Okay, congratulations. I hope you had some burgers and some chicken. Cause you're black, you
yeah.
gotta have
That's
chicken.
pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, brother. Nothing wrong with that. But sir, before we do get off, I do have to ask you this: who do you have in the Bloodline Rules match this weekend? Well, whatever match. It's not a Bloodline Rule match. It's Tribal
I don't.
Combat.
Whatever it is. Roman.
Okay.
I don't see him losing the belt yet.
Will Zilla Fatu make an appearance?
I've been wondering that myself. Can he? It's not even a joke. Can he go to Italy?
If the worst wrestler on the roster can, Jey Uso, if anybody doesn't know me. If he can make it.
Though.
Who know what Jay got? Jay probably gonna have something going on. Messing with that
Or
little
does
girl. He might.
Oh my god. She's
Yeet.
almost 30.
Look, goddammit. Okay, look. No, that is a child compared to Jey Uso.
She's like 26, 27. I mean, he is like 40.
41.
How old is he?
41 years old.
41?
Like 41 years old. 41 years. I know Roman just had a birthday like the other day. But
I mean, he shouldn't be talking to her, but
you know, okay, look. I know there's people that feel that Jey Uso and Damian Priest are doing God's work. Well, if that's the case, you think Jerry Lawler was doing God's work in '99?
Yeah, I won't go that far. Although some people will, but I won't go that far. But I don't. I don't know, man. She's almost 30 years old.
Look, I look at it as a grooming tactic. He probably said, "I can get you in Natty's and TJ school a little faster if you give me some of that."
She don't need his help. She can easily reach out to Natty. They like young wrestlers to show them the ropes and stuff. So they don't.
I agree.
She don't need him vetted by Yeet Man.
He gonna have her doing all types of strange stuff. She gonna be an alcoholic just like him and Jay,
or it could be the other way around.
Jimmy.
Because she's born again Christian. Maybe she'll have him calm his life down. Maybe she'll have him put the bottle down. He hasn't yet, but you know.
Yeah. And he gonna be like, if you want to go out with me to this party, you gonna have to get drunk. And then that's how next thing you know, she's missing shows. And she's missing shows, and Roman's gonna be like, one of y'all gotta go. I'm sorry, Jada, but you gotta go. Yeet.
Or maybe
I got a family.
Maybe he should get with maybe he should have got with Kiera Hogan.
They could have been on Baddies and Jocelyn and all that stuff. They could have been stars on the Zeus network. Too bad Kiera Hogan is a gay woman, but I mean, hey, she could have got her career.
Maybe that was a better match for him. Oh, you a lesbian? You can drink though, right? You can
right? Yeah. We can get drunk together. I can have a threesome. Yee. We had a threesome. Jimmy.
And how many drinks I had? I might not even want to have sex.
Mm-hmm. He just passed out. I mean, he passed out on somebody's lap. It don't matter. Probably Rolly's lap. That's who he's probably passed out with. How this big bitch get on me? Yee. We ain't gonna run it back. I guess we ain't gonna run it back. Stop. No, I'm sorry for everybody who loves Jey Uso, but I think he's garbage.
You
And
say that.
in
Meanwhile,
the
he is on Instagram and Snapchat telling you that he is the best wrestler in the world right now.
just so people like me can say he's garbage. I'm gonna say it like this:
And,
Angelo
and he's saying things
Dawkins
that make
is
no
better.
sense. I'm in my prime right now. I'm the best in the game. You know, Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves, right? What?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What is?
And I'm
What
like,
is?
stop saying random stuff. That no, I'm telling you, that's him laying up with Jada drunk. It's him laying up with Jada with some libations, like Cody Rhodes
Did he
said.
say something
They
about
said
Christopher
never.
Columbus once?
Yes, yes. Christopher Columbus discovered America. You know it, right? He. I'm like, stop, stop.
What does that mean?
No, it doesn't mean
Does that
anything.
connect?
It doesn't. I think he's trying to do like a John Cena thing, where John Cena would just post random pictures, and you're like, what does this mean? But with him, it just seems.
Okay. It's
With him,
unhinged, but okay.
it makes him seem stupid. He needs to stop. And then it's like, okay. And then when no. All the people, okay, so I'm gonna say the same thing I said about the Ultimate Warrior about Jey Uso fans. If you like the Ultimate Warrior, you're a dumbass. If you like Jey Uso, same thing. You're a dumbass. What's wrong with you?
But the Usos is
No.
a bona fide Hall of Fame team.
Yes, Jimmy is a bona fide Hall of Fame team by his damn self. He just has a body, a husk that his mama just happened to give birth to. The man with all the charisma of Rikishi's ass cheeks, and they were very charismatic cheeks, but they were still cheeks nonetheless. That is Jey Uso.
Well, I think on that note, I think we should wrap things up.
Yes.
And I I welcome all of the people to have something to say in regard to your opinion of Jey Uso. Hopefully he doesn't block the pod on Instagram.
Jay likes saying
But he wouldn't
ignorant
be the
shit. He ain't
first.
gonna block us. Kevin Nash. Sweet. Still NWO fan, don't care. But it was for
Yeah,
Hogan.
same here. I'll admit that I was a big Nash fan. I thought he was cool.
No.
No,
I'm not gonna say that, but okay.
I did. In live at that time, I thought Nash and Razor was cool. And I like
was
power
cool.
bombs.
I like power bombs. Hall was cool. Sean Waltman was cool. Hollywood was Hollywood. Hogan wasn't cool. He was just Hogan. That's all.
I think when he was trying to be cool, he wasn't. But when he was just being Terry Bollea, egomaniac, then he was cool.
the Hollywood character was just Terry being Terry. It was Terry turned up to 10. That doesn't work for me, brother. And it didn't work
that
for
stuff. That stuff was cool. But when he sometimes would cut promos like trying to extra, it was like, but it was Hogan. You just put up with it. But like it didn't ruin the vibe or anything. But it was like, look at this guy being cheesy. That was kind of like it.
I didn't
like
mind
when he was like, I was in the hood, and the hoods was like, what are you gonna do? Who was he cutting a promo on? Was it Piper?
He was cutting a promo on Warrior.
Was it Warrior?
Yeah. The Hollywood
And
War
when he
bonnet
said,
was yeah.
when he said the hood wanted to for him to beat him up, and It was like, what is that? What is this guy talking about? What is this?
It didn't make sense. It didn't make sense, but I loved it. That was one of my favorite. That is saved on my phone. The promo when I because he was flexing as hard as he could. He had on the war bonnet, which nobody sells except Hulk Hogan shop, brother. No one sells that the skull cap NWO except him himself. And I'm just like, it was just so cool. It was because it was fantastical because I was like, I don't think Hogan went to the hood, but okay. Like even young, I was like, I don't think he went to the hood. He wouldn't have showed up there. I don't think Booker T's going to the hood. He's fine. That version of
Razor
Booker
did.
T. Razor also went on Jerry Springer. Razor gave away the real Intercontinental title.
Gave away that belt. Oh my god.
Scott Hall didn't give a damn. Scott Hall didn't give a damn.
Like, didn't even think nothing about it, man. Here, kid.
Yeah,
and kid's still alive, by the way.
Yeah, but he thought he was dying, so he's like, "Here, bro, you can."
He thought he was dying. He thought he was dying. He did not know that HIV medication was going to advance.
I mean, who did? Except Magic Johnson. No one else did.
Yeah, but that kid, he grew up. I think he has kids.
Yeah.
And yeah, he said I think he said he still has the belt.
Oh, that ain't gonna be too long because Triple H gonna be on his way to get that.
I know with A&E to come.
Mm-hmm. he'll get AJ Francis back. You want to do it again, man? You want to just do it? Come take this kid's belt.
The girl that was on the show, she did pass away like a few years ago. Yeah.
But they lived quite a long time, because they were young kids during that time.
Yeah.
And but shout out to the late great Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, Diamond Stud, whatever you want to call him, because it takes a big man to be like, I'm giving away the real, and then they're like, y'all got some other ones.
Yeah, that shows like, unfortunately, past his demons and stuff. That was a good man there. That was, unfortunately, he had a. Wish he would have got some. Well, he did. He had people like DDP there trying to help him out.
No, they said he didn't start drinking again until he was locked into the he was locked in his apartment. And he couldn't move, and he was like, I'm getting ready to die, so may as well get drunk again.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't even die from COVID. He died from dehydration and breaking his hip. It
sucks.
Old people and hips is the reason never stop working out.
Where's his son at? Cody, where's he at?
I don't think Cody Hall wrestles anymore either. He had that failed
attempt. Did he get hurt?
Yeah, he got hurt. It was over for him. Too bad he couldn't last until AEW. I think he would have been an asset in AEW. Big guy. Him and Lance Hoyt could have been a tag team together. I know big guys don't get pushed. Big guys don't get pushed in AEW, but that is what it is.
Yeah, I'm a fan of smaller guys, but I do question. There's like, you got guys that's been like, when they debuted looked like you were working on making them top guys, and then you just lost interest, and then you gain interest, and then you lose it again, and then it gets to the point I don't even care when I see these people. Brian Cage,
Brian Cage, that's what I was getting ready to say.
Warlow. Yeah. I don't even now. What's his name? I gotta throw him in there too. That had the title shot with MJF.
Brody King.
Yeah.
they Brody was ready. When are you gonna wear your Brody shirt on here? Your F Ice. I know you got one.
Yeah, I got it. It's nearby somewhere, but yeah, I'm gonna wear it too. I think I got scared when I seen that they said that Ice was gonna get some software to like detect when people was posting negative things about them or something. And
I mean, that's just a look. But I'm not gonna clip it. I'm not gonna clip you saying F Ice. But
I was like, maybe I should not wear this shirt. I was like, I don't know.
It's as long as You find you can walk in the hood now. If you got on those Trump airs, you might not be able to. That'll be a more significant attack on you as a human being. That could
Oh
backfire on
yeah.
you immediately as you step out of your house. You know what I'm
Yeah, and
saying?
I live in the South End, and things is tense. Like I've
Yeah.
there's a house with a big Trump sign across the street from a house that says "F Trump," and just like man, it's pretty polarizing over here. It's
It's there. It's there. It's there. See, I live in the east, so it's just what it is. What it is. I mean, it's a liberal section, but you know,
yeah, yeah,
they the people going to city council meetings. They're not getting ready to say F anybody because they still want to be respected members in the society when they walk outside,
yeah.
when they walk into the world. But before we get off of here, brother, I do want to know. I want to know your guy, Cody Rhodes versus Gunther. Who's walking out? F. Cody Rhodes. He's just like Jey Uso, but a smidge better.
Whoa, Jay, Jay. Wait a minute, Jey Uso couldn't have done what Cody did, in Ring of Honor. Jey Uso couldn't did what Cody did in New Japan.
He
So
couldn't have done what Cody
Jey
did
Uso,
in AEW because he would have been too
Jey
drunk.
Uso, Jey Uso couldn't do a 5-star match with his brother.
Jey Uso can't do a 5-star match with Jey Uso. He can't do a five
They gave
star.
him the chance.
He can't do a 5-star match in WWE 2K26 with someone else playing for him.
He got over it. He became world champion. Man, he did some big things, and the run, it's not
No,
over,
no.
man.
The entrance did big things. His entrance did big things. You were there when he won the Royal Rumble, just like I was. We were in that room. We were in that building. We were in Indianapolis. We were in the stadium. We saw it.
In the building, they loved it. The internet says something different, but in the building, they loved it.
In the building, when it was him and Cena, everybody was chanting Cena in my section. There was a dude that cried when Cena got pushed off of the apron. He dropped down to his knees. He cried. His girlfriend walked out because she was embarrassed that this man was crying.
I was pissed. I was like, dude, Cena don't need this. What are we doing? But I had I had no faith in or even thought about Jey Uso winning the Rumble. So when he did it, I was shocked and was like, oh, this is cool as hell. And I remember people yelling yeet
Yeah.
all the way out the building.
Yeah. I mean, I saw a lot of, I can say this. There was 2 shirts I saw the most of. It was a Roman Reigns OTC shirt. But most of those shirts were Yeet shirts. He had the most shirts, especially with kids. Kids and minorities had on Yeet shirts. Every child had on a Yeet shirt. Might 1 or 2, they might have had a Cody shirt on, but our Roman shirt on. But most of them had a Yeet shirt.
Cody shirts. Because all right, I don't see nobody with Cody shirts. And
Not in real
not
life,
like
no.
just saying like out in the street, but I don't not even like online. I don't see a lot. And then I think they are very MAGA adjacent. And then I look and I see that he's often in the top 3 merch sellers.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that maybe I don't see people with these shirts because these are people who I already have trained my algorithm not to show me. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. But in your but to help you out, I think you can find some Cody shirts that aren't offensive.
Oh yeah, I just ordered a cool one from
know.
Box Lunch. It's like his
Okay.
head. It's pretty cool.
His
I was
face
like, oh
on the
yeah,
skull.
no, like his face. It's like yeah,
Okay.
it's just his face.
Okay.
He does have his
it's
logo in the back, but it's not too big and annoying. And I was like, okay, I'm grabbing this. I'm finally Cody shirt I can be proud of. This is a cool one.
Because the skull I wouldn't mind the skull personally. I like the skull wouldn't make me feel like some type
There's
of
a
way.
couple cool ones with the skull is like black or gray or something.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, okay, I can do that.
I would get that. Granted, Cody is not. I won't ever get a Cody Rhodes shirt. Why am I lying? I wouldn't, unless he's turned heel and he became a decent heel. But I don't think I could get behind it. But the next shirt I am getting is a Leo Rush, that white Leo Rush shirt,
Okay.
because
He knows.
yes, he knows. Yes, he knows. Yes, he knows. He always likes my
He's
comments.
doing better with those interviews. I will say that. And I don't know if they were ever bad because of him. I just think it was a weird way. You didn't know how to approach him to do these interviews, and maybe he should just never participate. Should be that.
Mm-hmm.
Because they asking him questions and there's no way for this character to really answer them, and so it's just awkward and weird for everybody. But now it's getting a little bit better. I hope he does a Bray Wyatt type thing where you get regular Leo, and then at times it can go into that. I don't want nonstop.
Blackheart
Gremlin
Leo
dude.
Rush.
Yeah,
I like the Gremlin dude. I like Leo in general. He always likes when I comment on his stuff. Because
does he? That's what's up.
Yeah, I always say because I usually just say put a belt on this man because he deserves it. Put him on Dynamite on the main show. Let people see him.
He blocked my friend on Instagram.
Oh, really? What
he was on live. He was on live, and this is like WWE days.
Oh, okay.
He's on live, just kind of like cutting promos on people, and then like my friend came on and and started cutting a promo on him, and he's like, "Man, who's this guy?" And then and I think he kind of got the best out of Leo.
Oh,
Leo cut him off, and then somehow he got back on the next day, and he said, "This guy again." He kicked him out.
Wow. I would say I'm surprised, but I'm not. So yeah. Well, this version of Leo wouldn't interact. He would just say he knows. So that works. That works. But man, shout out Leo Rush. Keep killing it.
Oh yeah.
I want to see you get a belt. I know he's not everybody's favorite. I know the chat hates him except Afro, but like I said, Afro just loves AEW.
So, he just loves AEW. I like Leo. I've liked Leo since he was on NXT. I don't like this route, but if it works for him, I'm happy for it. I think he would have been farther a long time ago if he wasn't always quitting every time he was upset. But here we are.
But I think that's a sign of maturity. Young people getting a big push really young without like someone else doing it for them, like guiding them. Or you have too many people in yours, especially Leo. Leo had kids and he was married. So, and he was like, well, I should be this because I want to do this for my family. And I heard about all these other people doing this stuff for their family because he's over here talking to people like Seth Rollins. Well, me and Becky, well, he wasn't with Becky at the time, but I just bought this. I just bought me a new home. You can't talk to the next man who's getting this major push when you're just coming up. And yes, you might have all the talent in the world.
I will say this. He had a point in a sense where he was getting NXT pay still, but he was on main roster, even though his main roster gig was like managing for Bobby, but he still was having matches every now and then.
Yeah.
And then, and getting involved in Bobby's matches. I agree that there should have been a pay difference made because you now are on the main roster. Even if you're doing both, you still on the main roster doing stuff. Like he was involved in WrestleMania. Like, come on, man. Like he should, but then also to his fault, he was bringing his wife along with him while he was
Yeah.
traveling. So, like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing?
You're just supposed to go to work, bro. Don't bring the whole family with you. I get it because you want to spend time with your family and you're gone all the time, and they were still doing it. But you need to. That's not
That is the
nobody else is
gig,
doing it.
man. It's the gig. You knew what the gig was when you got it. You've watched enough wrestling uh DVDs and stuff to know wrestlers be gone. They be on the road. You
And
bring
he
your
worked
wife
on the
along.
Indies. He wasn't.
Yeah, yeah,
He wasn't an
you know
NIL
you
guy.
know
He was
what's
on the
up.
Indies before.
Yeah, you know it.
And the only person that you saw with their wife was Triple H, because his wife was
Working
she
it.
worked there, and so did he. And you saw Randy Orton because that was part of his bus package deal. That was it
That's after he didn't grind it for over a decade.
for
That
over a
was
decade. Yeah, you know. And so,
and
so
had
to
some
me,
divorces.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I think just being young, you think you
It
deserve
is, yeah.
everything. 20. Remember, he was a 20-year-old piece of gold.
Yeah. And then he got fired from there. I'm like, all right, he'll bounce back. And then he popped up AEW. And then it was like, okay. And then
Left.
he
He
quit out
retired.
after. Yeah, I was like, dude, what are you doing? Then he went to New Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And then he
And
came back to AEW.
TNA. He was in New Japan and TNA at the same time.
Oh, okay. It was one of those. He was doing two at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It was that. And then
He
I think he
became X
got hurt
Division
and said he
champion.
was going. And it's just like after a while, I was like, dude, you can't get no more chances. Like, because like you was even losing your own fan support. People was like talking bad about you. Like it was just like I
Yeah.
don't know, and I hated it because I thought he was so talented.
Yeah.
And so when he signed back with AEW, I was just like, whatever. We'll see how long he lasts. And and then he was on Ring of Honor most of the time. It was like, oh, they not even really. They don't have the same stock in you that they had before. But now it's rising. So
They weren't
let's
taking
just
him seriously,
I
but he
just
shaved his head, became Blackheart full most of the time, not full time. Most of the time, he's Blackheart. He's drooling on stuff, and he doesn't have the heart anymore. Because remember, he used to have the heart that had the bag that had the black liquid in him that transformed him.
didn't it make him like not sell for nothing or nothing
He
affected
didn't
him?
sell for nothing. Nothing affected him. He became and
Jim
he was
Cornette
impervious to pain.
was pissed about that. Jim Cornette hated that.
Okay. So evident. So I'm gonna say I love Jim. And little known fact, Jim is the inspiration for me wanting to do this. Just because I love Jim. Yeah.
Okay.
I love Jim. But I feel like Jim doesn't represent anywhere near the modern wrestling.
That's true.
Neither do I completely.
Old school guy and has old school thoughts. And I mean, I guess I'm now getting into an age where I can say, my gen is going. But I'd still like, but I don't take those feelings when I'm watching today. Like I don't be like, oh man, back in my they wouldn't have did this because I know a lot of like when they turn it on and watch it, they'd be like, oh man, these dudes is weak, man. Back in my day, they would have such and such, and I get it, but it's just like it's a different show now, man. And and now I've seen so much of it that like I'll see people now will be like, oh man, uh 2010 was peak, and it's like, dude, you don't know how much people hated that. you
That
don't
era.
know.
But I've heard
Yes.
somebody say that to me. I heard somebody say 2010 is peak. And then I heard somebody say that, oh, well, you don't know what 97 was, and then it's like, well, you don't know what 87 was. And then somebody can say that Ric Flair in 77, you know how Rick was doing Dusty in 77. So,
and when I was a kid, there would be like older black men be like, "Oh man, back in my time, Jerry Lawler," and I never questioned it. I was like, "Oh man, yeah, he was having a good time back then." I never compared, and it was just like, "Yeah, I get it. That was your era." But I know now people be like, "Oh no, man, John Cena 2009 is the best thing ever," and it's like, is it really? Like, come on, man. Like,
I've heard they came to me and they said, you don't know what a pop is until you've seen a John Cena 2009 pop. I said, have you ever seen Hulk Hogan versus Ultimate Warrior? Have you ever seen Hulk Hogan versus The Rock?
Oh
Have you
yeah.
ever seen Hulk Hogan walk into any arena in the 80s? John Cena can't touch that. John Cena could never touch a Hulk Hogan. He couldn't touch an Austin pop in 98.
Dude, 98, anytime that glass broke, it was crazy. It was crazy.
Freedom Hall 98 Stone Cold Steve Austin music hits out there.
Yeah.
People like they like I'm pretty sure somebody just died. Austin Pop 99 somebody might have just some Austin Pop in 2000. Austin Pops. NWO Sting Pops. I've been in a building where a Sting Pop in WCW. A Sting Pop? No, Cena couldn't touch those. A Goldberg Pop. In peak Goldberg WCW, no, that was never Cena. And I'm not saying Cena didn't play a part. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that there was times in wrestling where that a Rock pop any point now ever like no Cena could never touch the Rock. Goosebumps. Let the Rock point to his arms. That was legit. So no, people saying all these things, I think all we need to know is that every wrestler that was ever a top guy and even a mid-carder has somebody that loves them.
And I guess, and being, a rapper and big into rap music, I see it happen with music fans. Oh man, 2008 music was so peak, and it's just like I remember people say the same about the 80s. Now, my generation says the same thing about the 90s. But growing up, everybody act like the 80s was just untouchable when it came to music, movies. And that's now like in movies, people will say, all these remakes, man, such and such was great. Dude, everything in the early 2000s was remakes. The 90s was remakes. Like it's the same. Everybody thinks their generation is the greatest thing ever. And I think that's really when it comes down to it when you talk wrestling. It's just whatever you was your most active moment watching wrestling when you were a kid. It's probably what you think is the best. It's just that.
And that's true. And I'm not, and you don't have a choice in that. And the reason you don't have a choice in that is because when you're a kid, you don't see that a lot of things in wrestling is stupid.
And this is all a new experience to you.
Yeah, this is new. This is like, oh wow, these big, larger than life superhero guys are wrestling on television in this colorful ring, and there's somebody commentating, and these people are reacting. Stupid.
Because like I hate wrestling shows when like Royal Rumble's about to start and it goes, all right, so we got 30 superstars. Every 90 seconds, a new guy's gonna come out. Like, dude, we done did this every year. Why do you gotta keep telling me this?
But that's not for you.
I have to think, right? And now that it's I'm finally getting that. But for me, dude, I you niggas keep telling me how Survivor Series works. I know how it works. It happens every year. Like I just
well, now Survivor Series is dead, so it doesn't even.
Yeah, but we now I guess next time they do actually have a 4-on-4 match, you will have to explain.
They have those on SmackDown the night before, and they do explain them.
That's so stupid, so stupid, man. So
they do explain them, but that's not for us, because they still want to. They don't want to alienate new fans, which I think probably it bothers us. Because if we watch a football game, they're not telling us how football's played.
Right.
And if you don't know, you don't know. You're going to watch until you know, or you're going to ask somebody next to you. Because usually football, basketball, baseball, it's all legacy. Your mother or your father or your cousin or your brother, someone older than you, takes you to this and more educated than you, and they educate you. I think they feel that wrestling fans don't show wrestling fans how wrestling works. But I don't think that's true, because I'm pretty sure your brother told you about wrestling.
Yeah.
My mom told me about it.
But, I think Vince thinks everybody's stupid anyway. So
they still do this in AEW. That doesn't even make sense. That's not even for the casual wrestling fan. That's not for the guy that's like, who is that? Is that Dean Ambrose? Why he shaved his head? He's not for that guy.
I think they do it because they just are also accustomed to WWE doing it, and so they just feel like that's just what you're supposed to do in wrestling is explain the match.
Every day, every night. This is a last man standing match. He's down for the count of 10. No pinfalls, no rules. Oh, dude, I know this, bro. I know what last man standing means. You know, the only match
Well, they
should
do gotta explain some of these new things because
yeah, I mean the Continental Classic
works again.
Yeah. Now the Continental Classic and stuff like that. Yes, please explain to me how many times do you have to lose? Well, it's a point system. If you win the match, pinfall off submission, you get 3. If you win via countout, you get 2.
I think that weird point system that they did, like people's win and loss records. I do feel like that was like a Cody idea, and they wish they never added it.
Yeah, I mean the win loss record was too real because you can't have storylines around a win loss record. You can't have a storyline.
I remember when Cody was talking about that before AEW started, and I'm listening to the Bucks, and I was like, dude, I think they just want to have New Japan and Ring of Honor on TV. I just think they want to have. They don't want to do what you're talking about.